Finally, I have everything that I need. Thanks to that mad poet, I have the Necronomicon, and a destination, finally, to locate the forgotten city of Neruzavin. This journey will be a long one, surely across land and seas both. But after all the effort that has been put forth, after everything I have attempted over the last few years, this is the victory lap. I will be denied no longer. The black stars beckon, and I will find them. I am Count Hasserton Lowls IV, and when I am done here, no academics throughout the inner seas will forget this name. Somewhere, deep within these sands, I will build history.
If you have come across Strange Aeons, our adventure at some point in the future, this is just the next YouTube video in the playlist. But if you're watching this live, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since our previous episode. Numerous weeks have passed, so I am going to do a little bit more of a comprehensive recap and reintroduction than I usually do. Because Strange Aeons has certainly lived up to the name. It has been an odd adventure, full of fantastic locales and unimaginable occurrences, impossible to fully comprehend. We have been journeying down the river in pursuit of the former employer of those of us who once woke up in Briarstone Asylum without our minds. And as we chased him across the lands of the inner seas, so too did we follow in his footsteps across the dreamlands, a plane nearby to the material, close enough that oftentimes, if you really try, in certain places, you can reach out across the border and see the incredible things just beyond the veil. We are here now in one such place. We've traveled to not our first or our second of many dreams now, pursuing a list of gifts that Count Hasserton Lowls, former Lord of Versex County, where Briarstone Asylum still stands, had gathered together to offer to a strange figure known as the Mad Poet. To offer alongside, apparently, the minds of several of our number. Perhaps that's a transaction that can be reversed. Our minds were given away simply like commodities. Perhaps they can be bought back. Hopefully, with the very same trinkets Lowls had once accrued. And as we left off, like 5 weeks ago, we had arrived in a necropolis. A crumbling, massive city of looming yellow porcelain. Odd, rough clay. Ceramic stretching in every direction. Shaped not just into the walls, sills, windows, doors of these buildings, but to the ground beneath our feet, to the grass, bushes, the trees. All carved of this strange, hardened yellow clay. We had been set upon by a pack of ghouls that live here. Can't say it was entirely unprovoked.
It's entirely unprovoked.
Don't look at me, man.
day that will live in infamy.
Would you believe it was an accident?
I think I talked you into it.
Somebody said hit this wall.
That's very intelligent of me.
The two smartest party members.
That's true. the true highest intelligence.
Sometimes if you just live by the book all the time, you just want some chaos.
She has the crown and it makes her even smarter.
Intelligence means they have the capacity to understand what happens. It doesn't mean they're going to make good decisions with it.
I understand
One of the highest
that
wisdom.
I
means
made
they
a
know.
nuke.
Yeah, right.
She's one of the highest wisdoms.
You blew up a building, like immediately.
It was science.
And then we fled. We fled from the center of this city, down these ceramic streets, past these porcelain buildings, these walls, these parks, these roads of yellow, until we reached the outskirts, until the sounds of pursuit and the horde of ghouls behind us fell by the wayside, until silence once again claimed the air around us. And it was there that we found a small tavern. The outskirts of this massive city, a single-story building stands. Its barristers, its stairs, even the sign hanging out in front of it, all cast of this same yellow clay. And as we had headed inside the door, Marius leading the way, I believe hoping that your ghoulish form would find some amount of camaraderie with those who live here, you had ascended the steps to the porch and stepped over the threshold into the darkened interior of this building. The lack of light, of course, no bother to you. But as the rest of the party hung a little bit behind, the four figures watching as Marius stepped inside, one of them would see what's becoming a too familiar change over the scene. As Marius steps to the door and would meet the gaze of what appears to be the alone, I don't know if I can really say living, denizen within, everything would shift once more for Reginald. You would see the color drain away, this placid yellow replaced by an emptiness, these shaky outlines of the buildings and the people around you, almost as if a wavering effervescent chalk, as everything froze. You would once again see, framed by the doorway in front of you, against a backdrop of this blackened nothing, this massive growth that you see within Marius every time this shift occurs. This writhing, fungal, wild mass of tentacles, strands, pulsing yellow and black energy, connected by these thin threads to your other companions. To MD, to Cammy, to Trey, all down here at the bottom of the stairs with you. You again can still look around this scene, you seeming to be the only thing unmoving, but you know, you can feel it in your heart of hearts that once again you are not alone here.
So I'm in that like frozen state again.
Yes.
And I just see this fungus going, basically mainly coming from him, but connecting everybody else.
It clearly, as you can see, even with no understanding of what it is you're looking at, is originating from Marius. You can see it running down these strange winding tendrils, almost half beams of energy, half physical vines that connect them to the rest of the group. That energy seeping into each of them, forming this separate malignant growth in each of them, much smaller, feeding off of him. As you look at it, you can even see slight ripples of light and motion moving down these strands from Marius.
What color is that light like? Is it just like...
Much the same yellow as the clay that has the color fallen away as you shifted.
Okay. I feel like this is one of those scenarios where it's like my character's smarter than me. He's great at puzzles.
Do you want to make some kind of a check for that? Because I would absolutely give you an occultism.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
You are quite dense. I mean, really, what's Reginald's? Just for reference, like Reginald's intelligence, you're like 20, right? Like,
yeah, I have a +5.
yeah, that is like superhuman.
Yeah,
There's not a man among us who is at that
Right.
level. That's not
Yeah.
just above average. That's like, I
12
think
is above average.
Right.
yeah,
So it's
12 is
4
above
times
average.
smarter
20,
than
20
me.
is like unattainable.
Yeah.
20 is like Einstein would struggle to understand. Like Socrates could not get on the same level as this man's philosophy. Like Reginald is like, you can't.
Right. So as I'm trying to connect based off of the fact that they have this whole dreamscape that we go into, but yet he's not a part of the original party, but yet somehow he's connected to the others, and I'm just like, Brett can't figure it out. I can't.
I
He's
would
an honest
take
man.
an occultism, or I would take a religion.
Hmm.
I'll do occultism. And those are two different answers, right? You'll give me two different answers.
I will give you will get an answer skewed towards what you roll.
Oh, it's cocked, and it was so good.
Almost a 17, but you never know. Okay, that's
It's not the enthusiasm I saw 5 seconds ago, but you know.
What is it, like a 14?
It's gonna be our own peanut gallery.
that is a 32.
Okay, that's not bad.
So we're having it on over a 32? Okay.
Bad, it's not bad.
I went from a 17 to a 13, 13 plus 19. Occultism is 19.
That's fair. We have hit, I guess, the point in Pathfinder. We're level 10 now. We've hit the point in Pathfinder. We're like 32, I guess. I mean, it's all right. Like it's just a
don't know.
It used
32.
to seem like a lot.
I don't think I hit over 35 yet in a
I
roll.
can't.
I don't know what my max.
I can't even hit a 30 on occultism.
Rip.
Have you considered doing better?
For
Or being
occultism-
smarter?
So
Like,
low.
it's-
Occultism, the most I could do if you like adding on a 20 would be 41.
I can do
A
that.
level
I'm so
20
sorry.
DC is 40, just for reference. Like this just like that's like public player knowledge. Levels like DC's by level. A 20th level average DC is 14.
I'm gonna
So
get in there.
you she knows.
Where's the Necronomicon?
Perhaps
Let's
too.
just get.
Hey, that question has never led to good results in the history of anything. Like it's.
We're better.
Are you smarter than the owls or dumber by thinking that you're smarter? Like it's,
No, I still blew up that building.
I love a building. Give me the Necronomicon. I'm ready. Like it's-
Yeah, it felt worse as we described the superhuman intelligence that
Looking-
exists between the two people who made that decision.
You understand that you blew up a building on like a metaphysical level. Like it's-
I know how I leveled it.
as you look at this scene before you,
Yeah.
Reginald,
32.
32 of occultism, I would say that what you can put together here, you have. I was started to understand your situation would be a stretch, but you've come to some level of at least grasping the basics of what this is, what you're shifting to, what you are seeing when you go to these places. Often, you feel pulled back and see 2 or more different events, different circumstances, different possibilities, and you're able to pick between them. And sometimes you are just a part of this frozen moment in time
Right.
that you feel like you've got some degree of control over. This is not a physical space that you are seeing, not in the traditional sense. So too is whatever is festering inside Marius not a physical thing. This is no, and I don't even just mean that as there is not a literal pulsing tumor of tentacles inside Marius. I mean, this is, if it is an affliction at all, it's not a physical one.
It's almost like
This is-
I'm seeing a manifestation of feelings or something.
Almost.
Yeah.
Something akin to that. That's the right track, yes. This is something he could go to the most knowledgeable and potent doctor in the world, and they would find, well, I mean, a lot of things wrong with him. He's literally dead. But it wouldn't be this. This is not something with a physical form or a physical manifestation. Neither is the connection, neither is what it is growing inside the rest of the party. It's a manifestation maybe of a feeling, maybe perhaps even of a concept or an energy. But what exactly it is, what it means, how it's growing, why it's connected like this, that you can't answer by simply looking at it.
And does this connect at all to the fact of my the what was it, chroma skimmer? Does any of that, all that kind of like abilities and things like that, is this connected to that?
As you try to think if this is some kind of an anomaly,
like
that's
those things have started happening at the same
Right.
time.
and you do only see it when you are almost out of time, so to speak, when you shift into whatever this is. And as you try to think if this is some kind of time-related manifestation, you see that you are in fact not alone here. As cresting over the shaded roof, the outlines of this building and the shade over the porch in front of it, right above Marius' family door and this massive cyst inside him, is this four-armed ethereal creature. This being, this manifestation of stars and space and energy.
The eyeball,
The eyeball.
the cute, not scary.
We have
thing.
not yet a better understanding of what it is. But it once again slowly crawls its way forward, gripping with these strange, slender hands over the edge of the roof and tilting its whole body to peer down at you and the three of your allies around you.
Can I? And what do you want? This is. Can I speak? Am I allowed to talk?
You can talk. You
I
can
am.
move.
Yeah. I go towards it with curiosity rather than any kind of like fear or whatever of like, this is like, I want answers now. It's more.
You see behind it almost a tail, like a comet's trail of nascent energy and star matter pulling up behind it and weaving around above it. You had touched it before to not great feeling results, but it regards you from the rooftop still. If it can respond, it doesn't.
I hate that I'm perplexed by this. I just want answers. What are you trying to show me?
That you start to see something. The scene around you winks away and is replaced with something entirely different, like you're watching a movie, like you're simply being shown something. A massive, flat, featureless lake under a huge yellow moon. No land anywhere in sight, and then a single ripple on its surface as a thin yellow tendril winds its way up from the water. And then you are yanked back outwards. A landscape around that expanding the size of your vision, seeing a nation, a continent, an entire planet. And then stars and planets around that as this tendril continues to reach and expand across planets, winding and embracing around each of them as it stretches across an entire galaxy, shading everything within it yellow. And then you're back.
Was that starting
there
from the moon?
on the porch.
Was that a coincidence?
Starting from a lake, seeing the moon overhead.
The moon was yellow. Was it the same? I almost feel like I'm like a person on like Photoshop. Is that the same yellow as that yellow? Like, is it like correlated, or that was just?
It looked very similar, yes.
It's either this lake, something with the moon, tides. I guess you guys. Did we just come back and we're like, I'm just like now talking out loud? While
You are still in the time shift.
Oh,
This
okay.
thing is still on the roof next to you, looking
Okay.
down. And then as you think and kind of talk to yourself, muttering about the yellow colors, you again see this image of your dead body atop a tower. Laying there as you've seen before, when it first showed you when you felt this doom set in. And as you look, the scene still as death. Your body twitches. Your arm jerks. Your head twists to the side. As right between your shoulder blades, the back of your neck, your spine splits and ruptures outward, bursting into a writhing blossom of fungus. Mushroom caps, tendrils, roots exploding out across this tower. And then you're back again in this shifted realm below the roof with this thing looking down at you.
Are you trying to help us? Is this? Is this fate final? You don't have a mouth. Just speak.
You see a simple image of a man standing in a room surrounded by 1,000 doors of all shapes, of all sizes. He opens one, and beyond it is madness, chaos, and death. The scene reverses itself. The man kind of panicked, shakes his head a little, and moves to the next door and opens it and sees the same thing. And the scene reverses again. And no matter how many times it plays out, faster and faster and faster, which door he opens, he gets the same result 1,000 times.
Okay. I think he's trying to tell me that this is... We can try and change, but I don't think it's going to work.
You see the tail, you can call it such,
Sure.
winding out behind this thing, this trail of energy, reach down and droop down off the side of the roof.
Do I recognize the man from that image?
He's faceless.
Okay.
No particular figure.
Okay, so I think she's just showing me basically images to almost communicate with me. Okay.
The tail droops down towards these threads connecting Marius to each member of the party. You had seen the creature come near one of these before, and it had been violently repelled. It's clearly, very obviously, being much more cautious about it now.
Yes. Do you want to get rid of this for him? And why are you coming to me?
At that, its gaze shifts away from you for the first time, down towards Trey, the nearest of the group. As the tail winds down gently towards this thread, wrapping around it, encasing it in this energy of nebulas and galaxies beyond the star matter. It slowly seals around and closes. And immediately, you see this yellow thread flash blue and white, like fire, snapping back both directions, towards Trey and towards Marius, as the whole of this frozen scene warps and shakes. You feel everything shift, equilibrium thrown aside, as if gravity is suddenly pulling the wrong direction. As Trey, at the back end of this, is enveloped by this blue and white light, and then you are thrown back into the world alongside Marius, still just stepping through the doorway, completely unaware of anything that just happened, and only Cammy and MD standing right next to you. MD and Cammy, as you're down here, the four of you at the base of the stairs are watching Marius as he goes to step in, and then from nowhere, you feel a strange sense of almost deja vu and a sickening bout of vertigo. Then everything seems to jump and skip for a second, and then Trey is simply gone.
Oh my gosh.
Marius, you hear that and turn around and see that there are less people behind you than there were a moment ago.
What just
Did anybody see?
Did Trey run off? What happened?
No, he was right
No.
here.
No.
I just had one of my weird flash things, and something enveloped him, and then he was... It just... I explain? You know, it's this cute eyeball thing, and you guys explained to me this other thing that's not as cute. But but something happened to Trey in my vision, and now it's happening now. It's like a thread that comes... I told you guys, like, there's this weird fungus. It's like an energy thing that comes off of Marius. I don't know what I'm seeing. You guys got me tripping for a while.
Where do you go in your vision?
I think he just... What is it? He disappeared? It like enveloped him.
Yeah, that blue and white energy, much of the same that makes up the creature, just ripped over him like a fire down a fuse, and he was gone.
Yes.
And
So-
as you're at this, as you think again, Cammy and MD, you feel a weird vertigo, almost causing you to physically stumble, and everything judders and skips again. Make me reflex saves.
38.
Mine is a 28.
A 38, you feel like you completely lose which way is up for a moment, but you manage to keep your footing. Cammy, you almost feel like you are thrown sideways and you just fall, tumbling backwards. Marius, you see all of this. You don't. Marius and Reginald both see this. You don't feel anything, but something clearly has happened to both of them, and Cammy just falls over.
Can I try and
backwards
catch Cammy?
rolls. Yeah, I mean it's not like she's not.
I
Gonna
was
throw anywhere.
on
She's just
I like
your
grab like her
shoulders.
shoulder.
She was
you're
back.
falling
It's
off
like
of
that.
MD. You can catch her for sure. You're a
She's like
10th level character. You can just catch a baby that's next to
Don't
you.
drop the baby.
She falls off of MD and Reginald, you quickly catch her.
You're so tiny. I
Oh
didn't
my
realize how tiny you are.
Oh my gosh.
So
What was that?
you're just saying that you disappear. You're like time freezes for you.
Yes.
And things can just snap us out of, just take us away out of nowhere.
I don't think. I think it's been trying to show me things, and when things are happening, that's kind of how it's being portrayed on the other side. It's not exactly that it's whatever this thing is doing isn't doing things to the physical realm as much as just whatever's happening in the physical realm. That's how it's manifested. Does that make sense?
It
No.
does if someone hadn't just disappeared.
Marius, you have a unique perspective on this conversation. You're at the top of the stairs on this patio. You're looking down at the three members of your party still there while they're looking at each other and up at you. You notice something strange coming out of the ground, out of the yellow packed soil around their feet. Vibrant green grass sprouting upwards, pushing away this clay and this dirt all around the group at the bottom of the stairs. Grass, little weeds, small wildflowers just sprouting almost instantly. Suddenly you see them all before you, like a small field 10 feet across.
Marius like quickly whips out his bow and points it toward the ground. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Something's happening.
Oh,
Something's coming out of the ground.
I guess I'll step away from the patch. It's just flowers, Marius.
Yep. Does that look normal for where we are?
Is it doing anything else?
It was just now a small, somewhat sparse patch of bright green grass, weeds, and small wildflowers, just like you'd find in a clearing in a forest.
What if?
Were it anywhere else, there would be not a single thing remarkable about it.
Is it possible that Trey just woke up?
I mean,
Stranger things
Yeah,
have-
he like disappeared. We've had people. I mean, we lost you for like a day. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
a day for you, but
Stranger things have happened.
it
That's
doesn't
possible,
usually
but
come with this.
Yes, no, it doesn't normally come like that. At
I
least I
don't-
don't think so.
I don't know what's typical for these dreamlands. Like, we've had our adventures and it's been relatively the same every time, but something weird happens. We lost him for, what, 20 years your time?
It was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then you aged 20.
Yeah, so you
and
look
then
up at the old orc standing next to you,
Like-
the 50-year-old man.
I've never felt it though when you woke up or you woke up.
I mean, it's weird. Like, is there any...
Is it possible we experienced a kick where we were supposed to wake up or move to a bigger dream?
do we need to wake up?
Do we?
I don't know. I don't know.
Reginald, what do you think? Is that thing threatening? The one we see is very threatening.
It's inconclusive still. I don't know if it's either.
Well, it took our friend, apparently.
Go back in
Yes,
there.
but I don't know if it just kind of happens. It doesn't.
Can you
Have
like
you-
make it happen?
I don't.
Brett, have you ever like explained to us like the visions that you see?
Yes, we've a few times had like I'm
I know
bringing
you
up
told
talking
me.
about this cute thing, and you guys keep bringing up this tornado
That's how you
thing.
ended up discussing the
talked about,
various
we talked
that's
about the
star
guy,
monsters.
But like, what about the actual visions of the tower and the lake and the moon?
Oh, I don't know.
I
I feel. I
started
think.
to
I
tell
think
me
I remember
some of
telling
it.
you guys that like yeah, I saw me die in a tower.
Okay.
But
That's
I
one of
think
those
what's
things where-
new is now that a bunch of fungus grew out of me. I believe that was new. I don't think
As
I
a
had
character,
that
I
vision.
would remember if you told me that. But
Right. Because it's only been a few days.
Right.
But yeah, no.
It's just yesterday.
Well then, Cammy, do you want to wake up? Do you want to go check on Trey?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to like
We can come-
make a scene or something.
we
But
can-
doesn't that
Marius.
sort of
it might be risky to leave.
Ever a little bit on the alert. You hear something moving about in the, well, not so apparently empty tavern room behind you.
I'm gonna kind of like just gesture, like, shh, kind of gesture. Let's try to just get inside, finish what we were here for, and it's probably better than trying to come back later if we have to.
Because if he just woke up, he'll be safe.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's in danger.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
But the other thing was, like, everything around us. I don't know whether it's a big concern, but like I don't think it was this clay material. I think this was like normal ground, normal buildings and everything, and something changed the entire city to this like clay. I don't know if that's a thing that we should be concerned about.
I think
But-
it is a thing we should be concerned about.
It seems like something happened here that literally transformed the entire area.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter if we wake up now anyways, because we'll all wake up at the same time, 8 hours from when we fell asleep.
You hear a voice from back in the tavern, one that's a little trepidatious, concerned. Hey, I don't know how many of you are out there. I don't got nothing. Ain't got no bodies, nothing ain't sculpted.
No, we were here to ask some questions.
As you turn around and you can see that across the yellow clay plank floor of this tap room, behind the porcelain bar, is a ghoul. It's sort of crouching down a little bit, not like fully hiding, but like, you know, not feeling super comfortable down behind the counter. Almost the whole of his right ear is missing, looking like it's been bitten or ripped off with just a little stub there. And a similar large bite mark just across the front of his forehead, his right temple. Doesn't look like he's had the greatest time, but he looks unbothered, other than like, looking at you. Hey, that's I don't really have anything for you. There's not much in here. It's quieter out here. There's none to take. I'm sorry. He's
Yeah,
time out.
Got two left.
This is a rarely called time. Time
out. Well, time. All right. Marcus has called time.
Huddle.
Time out, everybody.
We have those?
It's been 5 weeks. What are we here for?
We're here for the web foot.
Reasonable. It's been 5 weeks.
All I know is we're here for the
Red
red
web
foot.
foot. Let's actually, let me grab my
Recap us, please, GM.
notes here. I'll give you a brief recap on the necropolis in which you have arrived.
That's
That's
right.
reasonable.
The corpse eater.
Somebody bring
You
out
are
a
looking-
chalkboard for AJ.
You are looking. I have a whiteboard. You
Yeah,
are looking
yeah.
for aberrations called womps.
Wow.
They are
Womp
eight-legged creatures. They're big, gray, hairy things that have bright red webbed feet.
That's why I keep having
They-
womps on my...
Are carriers of a lot of corpse-borne diseases because, well, they congregate in cemeteries and necropolises and are, as much a threat for that as for any teeth or general slapping they might have. They are, let me see, decently large fellas. they're not small. They're not little guys. They're pretty big, and I don't think you knew much else about them other than just they're here.
I know nothing. I have no notes for them because like the one episode y'all powered through the research, that was the episode I missed.
Oh yeah.
So I
Go
got
for womps.
I got creature not native. Womp.
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 That's what you have
Womp.
to.
Womp.
All right, time in. We
Yeah.
time in.
Okay,
Okay.
Well, we're not really here for like anything specifically from you. We're trying to find some creatures called womps, and we were just wondering if you knew anything about that. Or...
I don't know nothing about whatever a womp is. Sorry, man.
It's like a big
I
gray
just-
thing with like red feet.
Well, I know about some big gray things with red feet. I mean, yeah, things in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are the three of you are still back down at the bottom of the stairs, like out of view from the front door, waiting for Marius? Or you
I'm
coming
just-
up with?
I feel like
I'm-
I'd approach now that like he's having a conversation.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought we were kind of going in right behind him ish.
Okay, so
I'd
you're all
probably be near the
yeah.
back of the
coming
pack.
up
I'm
the
not feeling
stairs
awesome,
to look,
but-
and also seeing this ghoul behind the counter. Obviously, he heard your voices, so like he knows there's at least several of you out there.
I'm looking like dapper and upright.
If you-
Even though we just gotta to.
He looks across the three of you as you come into view, like double and triple taking several times.
Good part for character introductions.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you? You're not from here.
Well,
No.
I'm Marius. I'm a ghoul dwarf ranger.
Okay.
I'm a full-blooded orc rogue.
It's been 5 weeks. I forgot introductions. Right?
Yes, my friend, I am Reginald Sedacious Fox. I'm a man that looks like a fox. Honestly.
Yeah, Fox looks like a man.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I think
Chicken
categorically a
chicken
fox
or
that looks
egg?
like a man, not like a.
Yeah, right, correct.
Right,
yeah,
like,
I'm a
yeah,
fox
like-
that is just upright, bipedal.
Fair enough.
I'm Cammy. I'm an itty bitty gnomish witch who didn't do anything wrong.
Just these. I don't really. I gotta admit, I don't really understand what I'm seeing here.
We're just travelers kind of passing through.
Living?
Oh,
Some of us.
some of us.
Well, yeah, I can see you. You look like you. I don't know. You look like you're Arventon, but the rest of you
I look like what? You talking to me?
from here. He looks like a normal, like not really normal so much, I guess, over the rest of us. But sorry, it's. Can you smell less?
Can
My
I
name is
He's
Jeff.
hungry.
smell
Let's
that?
go outside, Hammy.
Oh,
I think
I think we're.
he's
Um,
hungry. We're going.
Yes.
Yeah,
Don't think about it too much.
do you know where the nearest
Appreciate the
cemetery
heads
is?
up. Though.
Well, there's only there's the one. I mean, it's not far out to the west. I guess a couple miles down the road, but it's got those. You know about the things, but I don't get. How do you know about them? But you know what they're called? Are you looking for them?
Yeah. We're looking for some.
We're exterminators.
Basically.
So that's great. That's fantastic. That's none of us can get in the cemetery. We can't get to any bodies or anything. It's everything in the city's sculpted. There's nothing left. It hasn't been clean. But,
It's been clean. What does that mean?
you know, like we've reared it all out. I mean, those of us that are left. I don't know how to explain this.
Okay.
Like anything that isn't sculpted is gone. Like we ate it already. It's
Why is there so much sculpted?
I don't know. It just kind of happened.
That's just your design of how you like a city to be. That's fine. It's good. It's
cool.
Well, no, I don't know. It's hard to remember it being anything else. It's been like I don't know, hundreds of years probably.
And how old are you?
Hundreds of years probably.
I mean, were you here before?
Yeah, I mean all of us were. I didn't know anyone was here that wasn't.
He's kind of straightening up a little behind the counter and seeming less concerned that you don't immediately seem to be here to kill or rob him, despite all of your numerous weapons.
I'm I got my cane just now.
I didn't know there was anyone here that wasn't from Arvington. That there was any. I've never seen an outsider. Not since the. Well, it's just. I've never thought about having to explain this to somebody. This feels weird.
Imagine.
Yeah, it sounds like you don't get many tourists.
You should hear our story. It sounds weird too.
I don't know. I feel like I should have a better story than this, but it's just.
It just happened.
One day it just happened. Everything turned into this stuff.
Everything turned yellow.
Well, everything but the stone. But everything else, wood, steel, people.
What stone?
And he just
People.
sort of, we just kind of gestures over to the side of the bar.
The stone ground.
He's like, well, yeah, I mean, I just kind of moved him out of the way once they were here. But
In my 7 years of living in Lang, are Langles also all people who were turned into ghouls, or are there some that are just were born ghouls?
a solid question. You would know that Langles are basically just, I'm trying to figure out the most direct way to explain this. They are still ghouls, so it works the same way. It's still a disease. It's still a disease that kills you, and then you rise as a Langul. It's just a more, well, as the Languls would say, pure version of it. You would know very much that Languls regard regular ghouls as lesser beings. They're they literally call them demi-ghouls. They're not.
I'm not gonna say it.
No. They're not real. They don't even really consider them people in a lot of cases. But they were people. They don't reproduce. They don't have little Lengul babies. They were infected by a rot, the same as you.
Okay. So, if you don't mind me asking, were you a ghoul when the whole place changed?
A ghoul, is that like us?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I was just a smith's apprentice. I was just a regular guy like everyone else. None of us. I mean, we were just a city. There's nothing. Everything was normal. If this is a ghoul, I didn't know. Why? I guess I didn't know anyone outside Arvington since the sculpting, but I didn't. This is something that's happened elsewhere. Then you're the same thing, and you're not from here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from other places. There are other ghouls around, but
There's other places that have been sculpted.
not sculpted, but just there are other cities of ghouls.
I have a question. How did you become a ghoul?
I don't know how any of it happened. Whenever, well, whatever it was happened. There's
Did something bite you? Did you get sick?
No, I woke up like this.
It sounds like someone did something they weren't supposed to, cause a mass chain reaction in the city. That happened.
Every one of us in Arvington, everyone I knew that, isn't turned into, he just kind of pats the counter, more of this. There's a little statue now, is like this. It's
Sounds very similar to something akin to what was happening in Thrushmoor. Just someone doing something they shouldn't have been doing.
It's only a few of us, really. I mean, almost the whole city's sculpted too. I'm surprised you haven't seen them. I mean, I guess by this point people have just moved them out of the way, really. But
Imagine being a bystander in a cataclysmic magical catastrophe, and then having to explain it as a survivor. And you have no idea what just happened.
You truly it requires no check for you to gather that this guy does not seem like he has any freaking clue why he is the way that he is or any of this. And he's clearly never had to explain it to someone.
Yeah.
And he's really struggling to just try to put into words.
But yet, the lack of answers is giving us so many.
I don't think it's
Cammy.
really pertinent.
Make me
Can I
a
help
sense
you?
motive check.
Oh. Oh, it's that time of day. Well, it's not. It's a 29.
Oh, well, good news is I'm supposed to roll it, so you don't know if it's good or not.
Oh, okay.
What's your modifier?
It's perception, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 16. Is it higher than a 29, right? It's only gotten better since we rolled it twice.
Anything's possible.
Okay. So why do I hate him?
Do you, like Colby said, it's kind of hard to imagine being in a situation at the school right now, but no matter like how long it's been or how little he understands about like the cause, it does not make any sense to you that he wouldn't be able to like clearly this would be the most vivid memory of this guy's entire life. There's a reason he's not sharing with you, and you don't think it's a great reason for you guys. But you don't get the sense that he means you any like immediate harm.
Right. Well, Marius, I don't think it's pertinent we know what happened to the city.
Yeah.
Which way is the cemetery?
Like I said, it's west. It's anyone here that's well,
Which direction's west?
I guess a ghoul. Oh, like it's. I guess if you come out the door and follow the road down,
Alright.
and
Well,
it's
then we
gonna be
should
a
do-
ways. It's like I said, it's a mile or two past the normal boundaries of the city, but it's
And
well,
you don't have anything else you can tell us about why a whole city would just turn to clay and a select group of people would turn to ghouls.
I don't really. No, it just happened. It happened overnight. One morning, I woke up and, well,
He kind of reaches up.
I still had my whole ear, and I didn't have any of these, none of the wounds, but they don't heal anymore. So, the womps, if that's what they are, they did this. This is recent. This was a couple of weeks ago. But
So they make their way into the city sometimes?
no, we tried to fight them. I mean, we have nothing else but the cemetery. There's nothing else to eat. There's only so much of it left, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That's a problem for later. I mean, they made it a problem for now, but we definitely couldn't fight them. There's a lot. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, and they're loud. And they're screaming. It's as bad as their teeth.
Good to know.
Okay. We should go.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks.
But hey, if you're going out to the cemetery, I mean, have you talked to Caresto? Have you? Did you talk to anyone?
Who's
No.
Cresta?
I don't know if like it has like an official title or anything really, but I think he's kind of the guy that we all that if we got questions we go to him. He sort of runs things, I guess.
Where is he located?
Well, I mean, he'd be in town. I don't know how to direct.
East then.
I can't give you the names of anything. It's not going to direct you
It's
anywhere.
like a
You don't-
center, like a town hall, or
Well, he's not so much off to the center, but on the southern end of town, he's in what was the bank. There's a bank. There's a main road. I'll explain this from here to someone who isn't going to know any of the landmarks. I don't know. If you're heading west, past the edge of town, you're going to swing around the south end anyway. The main road by, like the sign, the Arventon town sign. It's on the edge of the farm. So the road leads down, and there'll be a church on your right. It's like a round building, like circular, and the bank's across the
do
street.
have a
from it.
feature called Eyes of the City, which is you can track down targets with help of locals. You can use diplomacy or
Happens to
society.
be exactly what we're doing.
This is a locals, and if you are particularly adept at having more locals aid you, you feel like it would be no particular challenge for you to find this place where you to look for it. But no, don't talk to him. He's been trying to come up with a solution to this thing for weeks. I mean,
you'd be damn heroes, basically, if you can get rid of them. I don't know why you're hunting them, and frankly, I don't particularly care if you can get rid of the things, but I mean, maybe Caresto can help.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you.
We're leaving.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you're gonna get us the cemetery back, I mean, I'll tell you anything. Like,
Is that your guys' food source, I'm guessing?
what else do we have?
That makes sense.
Everything's sculpted. We can't eat clay.
Speaking of, I think because we have things from the outside world when we come into the dream, I think I've probably got a fish on me. So I'm going to toss him a fish as a little bit of a payment.
A little treat for
A
later.
fish for your troubles, sir.
Hey, that's
Always
valuable.
have that on you. It stinks.
You just
Every
I like
dream
it.
you walk in, and everybody's
Look,
like, "Wow, that guy's
Sometimes I
rank."
get hungry.
It's
You
a
pack
snack.
some
It's a
trail
dream
mix, a crack
snack.
of fish.
I mean, as a
Just like a whole,
Kinsune, I like
just
it.
a dead fish. Not like getting preserved, not salted. We're not talking like strips. It's just a fish.
It's
Yeah.
just a fish.
He's cool.
Okay. That's
Why
fair.
would I do any of those things?
That's fair. You know, silly question. I'm sorry I asked. You should slap a fish on the counter.
Why do you?
Thank you for your time.
Why do you?
This is what it's like in Stardew Valley when it's you're trying to romance somebody and they only like one like really specific thing.
What, you've got a problem with it? I pull out like a little minnow and just like take a snack.
I honestly don't have a problem with it at all. We get going.
He just takes it.
We should
Yeah.
leave.
It's just, you sure? And he grabs it and just clawed hand rips it off the counter, nearly ripping it in half as he just jams it like bones and all into his face and just starts
Imagine being forced
tearing
to
into this thing.
fast for so long and you suddenly get food. That is the worst
Just
thing.
a big raw dead fish. The sounds and the smell are unpleasant as this man rips into it, leaving the group of you with a wonderful time to leave and go to anywhere else.
Usher people out. Okay, we're leaving.
All right.
Come on, Marius, I can't push
I don't know. Do I
you.
use that
I'm leaving.
with
I'm
his
not gonna go.
information and that little
Yeah.
feature that I have? Does that? I mean, it
With
sounds
you,
like a-
yeah, with you having that feat, I'm not even going to make you roll a diplomacy check or anything with having eyes of the city, because now as you make your way in through the wrapping around, it's a bit of a walk. What are you all doing as you travel? Brett, his exploration activity is going to be getting directions. How about the other three of you?
Remind me, can I investigate any items when I'm?
Yeah, it's just an exploration
Walking.
activity. You can walk and.
Let me find my
Magicite.
stick. Where's my stick?
Have you already investigated the stick this dream? I feel like you have.
Unless
you
Marius
did
wants
it.
to
That's
be
why
doing
you tried to
something.
use it. Is because you appeared and you investigated it.
Keeping my eyes
Yes,
peeled
that is true. Then never mind.
for
I thought maybe
potential danger.
Seeking.
Well, I
Searching?
was thinking as I'm doing so, he probably needs to be with me as I'm asking questions because it couldn't be me by myself.
That's fair. I mean, the group of you are all kind of
We're
moving
always
together. But
together.
he'll be up front with you, scouting as you're talking, and
I'll just be
still
thinking then.
thinking. All right.
Calling.
Yeah.
Looking around now, not as terrorists who just blew up a building, coming in from the other side of Seti where nobody knows you or knows what's
The
happened.
heat is dead.
News may have reached the area, but you find there are no people here. They're very, very sparse. Those that you meet, few and far between, and often you really have to be looking to even see them. But with MD's eyes and Reginald's suave demeanor, you briefly meet a couple more ghouls that just seem like they're trying to scrape together whatever kind of an existence they can. Meager, squalid lives in these buildings of nothing but rock and yellow clay. They direct you around to this main promenade of the city, to this round church on one side, and a small bank on the other. With the biggest congregation that you've seen since, the horde descended on you, that is to say, 2 ghouls just sort of hanging out in front of this bank. They give you strange, confused looks as you approach. They're not right near the door or anything, and they don't make any kind of a move to stop you. They just look at you like, what the heck? One of them, they're both very curious and both very obviously hungry. But heading inside to what was once a fairly sizable open bank. Several offices set around in corners. some sequestered away behind what looked like they were once panes of glass, now sheets of impermeable clay plaster. You would see 2 more figures and quickly be introduced to one of them, Caresto, a fairly tall ghoul, standing more upright, ears pointed almost straight upward above him, giving him even more of a look of just stature. He kind of looks across the group of you, and he seems to be the best so far at not immediately looking at you like, literal walking Slim Jims. But you can tell it's definitely still there. He hides it better. Not perfectly.
We're just pieces of meat to these people.
As he introduces himself,
Yeah, Caresta, that's me. What's up?
We were told to come find you, because we are going to the cemetery.
We're going to kill the womps.
You're gonna fight him.
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Best news I've had in weeks. All right, what do you need?
Any information you have on them? How many are there? How do they fight?
I don't know that I can give you an exact number, but there's quite a few. I don't know. We ran across at least a half dozen other things. We didn't expect them to be as much of a problem as they were. I mean, they're pretty big things, whatever they are. Big, bulbous, hairy creatures, but didn't look particularly dangerous until they opened their mouths. They got fangs, they got teeth, but more importantly, they're like bats. I guess you can kind of see it in their faces. They got those little triangular snouts. They sort of got the face. They do look like it.
Did I see that in like the book or any of the research that I've ever?
you didn't see any pictures of them. You just saw descriptions.
Got it.
They look like little piggies.
But I don't know. You know how bats do that thing? They say they can just kind of scream at each other, and that's how they find their way around in the night. They're basically blind, but they get around the caves with that. There's a word for it, but it's escaping my mind.
This is like original.
Echolocation?
Thank you.
That sounds right enough to me. Yeah, I think they
I
got
feel like
something
there's more
like
of a
that. But
scientific term, I just don't know what it is.
rather than using it just for navigation, you can hear theirs, and you can't just hear it. You can feel it. It's like a sword. It's ripping, and it is bad.
The
I
sound
went
of
out
the
there with 2
scream.
dozen men and lost half of them almost immediately. Just these screams.
Hmm.
It kind of overwhelms you.
That's worse than that. It's like it physically rips people apart,
Great.
limb from limb.
Should we wear like earmuffs or
I
something?
don't
Can
think
I-
that's the thing.
You mean the invention of clogging your ears
I was-
on purpose?
It's like his bow.
Yeah, I don't think if it's physically tearing people apart, I don't think this clogging your ears is gonna do it. It's good.
I don't know. They definitely got a couple of different kinds of things they can do. And some of them, we showed up, just screeched at us directly, and that was a massacre. But then another one of them came up, and it was a lower, kind of like a rolling scream. It didn't do the same. It didn't, I guess, hurt directly, but I mean, it's absolutely deafening. It felt like we could barely move. That's overwhelming. It's oppressive. It's
Is there another way? Is there only one way to get into the cemetery, or?
I mean, the cemetery's pretty open. You can come at it more or less however you please. It's not really enclosed. It's a pretty big, sprawling area. I mean,
And
it was
were
all of
they-
Arvington's graveyard.
Were these more like wandering animals in random places? Or do they seem like actually they wanted to be in strategic spots?
They're just rooting up the graves. I think they're just eating them.
I think
Same as
the-
us.
And I think the issue is once they start screaming, the others come running.
Right.
Well, they seem like they stuck together. The ones that we saw were a group. I mean, the cemetery's big enough that we've been making some do, sending small teams in to try and root out what they can. But yeah, we can give them a wide berth. We can try and dig up graves on the other side of the cemetery. But I mean, grave digging ain't fast. It takes a while, and
All right.
I don't know if it's as soon as we seem like we're making any progress, they show up every damn time.
Another question. Were any of your men able to get any hits in on them? Did anything seem effective? You think
I mean,
swords or hammers would work best?
we're fighting them with clay. You got real blades. They'll probably do better than us.
That's fair.
They're pretty big. They're pretty bulbous. I mean, it seemed like they got thick hides. At least too thick for a porcelain blade to cut through. Well, we don't exactly have. We're not really flesh for weapons here.
Yeah,
I mean, trying to cut stone into axe heads is the best we got.
Yep.
All the all we had in the armories and the guardhouses is sculpted. So, it ain't great for us.
All right.
Where are you guys from? I mean, not to question Providence here. I'm not going to look in the mouth of the gift horse here, but four folk I don't know, never seen before. First I've seen coming to Arvington in hundreds of years, showing up offering to immediately solve this problem. But I just... I'm doing my due diligence here, Why? And from where? I thought...
Wait, can
Yeah,
I call
all of us-
time out?
Can I go outside?
Timeout. Okay, so
Sorry.
second timeout.
Sorry,
Second
guys,
timeout. We got one left.
What was it that we were grabbing again? I feel like I wasted a
The
timeout.
womp foot. The womp foot. The
The
womp
womp
foot.
foot. We
Yeah.
want
Only the one
to.
that
We want
feed of
one.
these
Like
creatures,
just
yes.
one.
You just need one.
We just need to go get one of
Yeah,
these
one
things.
foot.
Yeah.
And we're trying to like solve their whole issue. We could really just get
their
one.
issue is that they exist. So like,
We're not trying to solve their issue. The fact is, we got to get one of them
We
when there's
still
a
need
whole
one
pack
foot.
of them. So we have to kill one,
We
take
still
its
need one
foot,
Okay.
and if you don't want to fight the rest of the
And
pack,
what was it we were gonna do with the foot that we needed? What did we?
We're gonna give
it's
it to
just one of the
Laos.
gifts.
It's one of
Just
the
like the
gifts. It's one of
stone
the
idol
gifts.
Take
from
our
it.
brains
Got
back.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's on your
so we
list.
can get
Okay.
our brains back.
Yeah.
Just us.
Okay. Got it.
So
Okay.
we'll get
And
a
then you
foot
can
from
close
the
your
yard, and we'll get a
investigation.
All
first
right.
down.
All right. I can go back.
Okay,
in.
okay.
I can
Wait,
go back in.
Aeons on
time it,
3.
time it.
Ready?
All right.
Oh gosh, I'm back.
We're from
Travelers.
travelers. We're very
From
far
everywhere.
away.
I've always kind of, all of us have honestly figured that, since everything that nobody could come or go. We thought this was just, I don't know, we thought that was part of it. Like everything turned into clay. Half of us are gone. Almost all of us are gone. The rest of us look like you.
Do you
Wait,
know exactly what happened?
Yeah. Do you have any more insight on?
Or is it that I don't know? I
The
just woke up like
sculpting-
this.
The sculpting.
Well, everything's clay. Everything that wasn't stone turned into clay. Dirt, grass, glass, wood, people.
But only some people.
Well, there's most of them, but yeah. I mean, if you're looking for why I'm not, I couldn't tell you. There's no common thread. We've had hundreds of years to do little more than just talk about it, and there's no common thread between those of us that were spared that we can find. Listen, lady, if I had an answer, I'd give it to you. You're like God's own angels sent down to save us from this, but I got nothing more I can tell you. And we just all kind of figured that part of that was that we were unreachable, like removed from the world. I mean, traders never showed up again. We never had travelers come through. I mean, look at the size of this place. Arvington's big.
Where's
We used to have tons of visitors.
Arvington on the map?
Was it? I guess I'm trying to figure out like who did this. Like if there was some sort something.
I don't have a map that was made of stone to show you, but I mean, I can.
Or other nearby, like out of character. Like Arvington wasn't a city.
It's not a city you've ever heard of. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
not a timeout. That's an
Yeah,
out of
okay,
character.
okay.
It's an out of character.
Yeah, no, it's
Not a city we ever heard of.
not a city you've ever heard of.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean that it's
it didn't exist.
like, but you're dreaming right now.
Yeah,
So like, almost certainly you're in the dreamlands.
yeah.
Whether or not Arvington was originally there, I think is the question you're trying to ask.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to ask. It sounds to me
Oh.
like this whole city was ripped from wherever it was and put
here, and then when it got put here, then they all turned into ghouls.
They got turned into ghouls. It's a similar effect to the Tatterman and what he did to us. To him.
Well,
We can't solve that problem, but we can kill the womps. And I guess you can eat them.
So you guys got here, so clearly there's a way. We're not as removed from the rest of the dreamlands as we thought we were. How did you just walk here?
No,
no.
we woke up here.
Of course not. What woke up here?
We woke up here.
It's a long story.
Yeah, and I feel like I wouldn't understand that any more than the sculpting itself.
Yeah.
Well,
Were the womps always here, actually, or did they just
No.
show up?
you were I guess the second thing to have showed up. The first was the womps.
Oh,
And they've been here for how long?
A couple of weeks.
okay.
We've been trying to work around them in the graveyard, and there's really not much we can do about it. Here,
I'm curious, just like if you. I'm assuming somebody's tried to leave Arvington. Yeah. Is this like a flat Arvington thing? Is there just something preventing you from leaving? Like, is there a border or
walk
something?
off the edge of Arvington.
Like, why can't anybody leave?
Here's a ice one.
You see him kind of furrow his brow like he's confused. I don't know. I'm sure we've tried. I don't know. There must be a reason, but I guess we gave up on it a real long time ago. Look, the sculpting was longer ago than any human should live. I barely remember anything else, honestly.
It seems like a door that maybe we shouldn't be knocking on.
Yeah.
Let's go kill the womps.
Well, hey, hold on. I don't have a map, but we don't have nothing. Do you want to fight?
You?
We could use any support
Yeah.
if you have.
Well, yeah, other than
folks.
anything stone and rock didn't get sculpted, but a couple of things that were enchanted beforehand survived too. We didn't have nothing. I don't know how much we have that'd be useful in a fight. I don't have weapons or anything like that, but we have. Hold on, I'll be right back. And he goes back into the back of this stone and yellow clay bank, and after a few minutes, reemerges with two things. He has first a pair of very sleek-looking red leather boots and a set of what look like crystal-encrusted metal wristbands.
He's got bracelets and boots.
He's got
This man is
bracelets
styling.
and boots. He's like,
Like-
now look,
He got, what is it? Oh, is that kinky boots where they have the giant?
no one that survived the sculpting has any particularly magical talents. Nor did this belong to any of us. I don't know exactly what they are. But the effects are pretty obvious. You put on the boots, it feels like you're going to run fast as hell. You put on these wristlets and watch. And he slides them over his arms. And as he does with each one that he puts over a hand onto his wrist, you see what the first, he almost just looks sweaty, like a reflective sheen. But as he puts more and more on, that shine gets thicker and more visible and more solid until it is like a literal visible shell of clear crystal that just seems to perfectly encase his body. He just
Why are you guys looking over here?
I just want to see the fast, like,
It's solid.
damage-resistant gnome.
I don't know if it's gonna help with the screeching
He
at
turned
all,
into
but
an actual bullet as I zoomed.
he just kind of knocks on himself. It's real hard. It's
That's great.
almost like metal. I don't know how impenetrable it is, but you're welcome to find out.
A gnome juggernaut?
Yeah, those would be,
Not that one.
those would be very helpful, I think.
She's not allowed to charge towards anything.
I don't know what else I have that'd be helpful.
I mean, anything's better than
But if you
nothing.
can get rid of these things, these womps, I'll give you whatever you need.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Hand the bracelets to Cammy.
Yeah.
And then
I want to go fast.
You can go
You want
fast.
to boost?
I like speed.
Want me speed?
Sonic.
So if either of you put them on, you can immediately unfold at once because the initial
I'm putting
effects
on the
of
bracelet.
I'm
both
putting on the
are relatively obvious. And you can have one unfold as a freebie there.
Oh, one. There's two. I didn't see it.
Simply wearing them enhances your speed.
An invisible protective
And I will tell you,
layer.
for the purposes of simplicity, you have a plus 5 foot item bonus to your speed just from having them on. That's like you can literally feel it. When you put them on, you focus, you invest in the magic of those boots, you can immediately tell you can run fast as hell, boy.
You feel so stylish
35
that you
movement
just,
speed.
like, start
These
walking a
boots
little
were
faster.
made for walking.
These boots are made for running.
And that's what they'll do.
They're jogging boots.
An invisible protective layer of force envelopes your body.
And,
That
and
sounds
as,
like the
the
kind of
force.
item that usually comes my way.
and as Cammy puts on
I'm
one
there.
bracelet after the other,
There.
you can also see this same almost perfectly transparent, save for the shine, reflective shell envelop her body.
Walk over to her, just knock her in the head a few times. You good?
Who's there?
She's good.
And as you,
You
do,
can
literally,
see.
you knock
Knock,
on her
knock.
head, Cammy. It's like a helmet. Like you don't really feel him hit you at all. You
Now
literally
you
hear the
can
clack
drop the
clack
baby.
of
Oh
his
my
knuckles
gosh,
on
it's
this
so
shell.
fun. I could do a tap dance.
You can do a tap dance. With
I can do a tap dance.
Now, as you go, are you is that you immediately start tap dancing?
I think
Is that
I'm
Cammy?
okay.
it's
Creative
like when
performance.
I'm the only girl here, but if you have like really clacky high heel shoes and then you want to walk, but you're like,
When I have
we
really
know
loud
what clacky
shoes,
high
period.
heel shoes
but
are.
you don't know the feeling of how much fun that is.
That's true. I don't know the joy personally.
I feel
Don't.
like I've had like
Wish I
you
did.
don't know my
I
weekend
feel like I've had like
activities. Don't
dress
shame
shoes
me.
Brett.
that like kind of done that.
That's true.
you
You
should
can get
have the
very
kinky-
clacky dress shoes.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Tess at one
kinda
point.
like dress shoes, and then going on like one of like the like granite floors.
Oh,
or
a dress
something
shoe
like
would
that.
kind of be similar. Mm-hmm. That's a good solid black heel.
So, out of just quick question, Cammy,
Yes.
how much dexterity do you have?
Oh, I just have my modifier +3.
Oh, +3. Okay, yeah, that's what I want is the modifier.
Okay.
Okay,
Why?
no reason.
Am I slippery?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's not slippery. It is. It does. It doesn't really impede with your movements at all. So, like as you literally knock on her head, it is solid. It's like a full shell of armor around her. She's tap dancing away.
I got my cane.
Absolutely unimpeded. Like it's.
Oh, I got my stick.
I don't think we should
Oh,
let her.
your
Cane that I
magical,
blew up a
your magical
building
war
with.
crime staff.
I don't think we should let her keep that. Why haven't we
Wait,
taken
so-
it away from her?
I mean, don't let
Does she seem
see it.
louder? Like it's harder for her to sneak around, possibly.
Oh,
I mean, she's currently tap dancing, but like if she's not doing that, it's not any worse than like wearing shoes.
Okay.
So yeah,
All
it doesn't. It's silent as it moves around. It just adapts perfectly with your body. It doesn't interfere with your movements at all.
Imagine
It just
it.
warps with you.
A magic item that just made your shoes always do the clacky thing, even if you're on like sand.
cursed.
Ah, cursed. So cursed.
It's a living Foley artist.
Oh my god.
Just always
That's
falling
so
and making
good.
noises behind you.
All right, this is coconut. This to do with the coconut.
Okay.
All right, well,
All right, well.
thank you for your information.
Hey, no, thank you.
Don't think
Seriously,
yeah.
you have no idea what this means to us. It's
Hey, it's a
It's
win. It's
important.
a win-win.
If we do it, we'll be heroes, and the people who do anything else.
Yeah. No,
hey, as far as I'm concerned, if you try, you're still heroes. But I mean, you're way better armed than we were, and you look like you got a lot more of an idea what you're doing. So I mean, hey, you got a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing from the start. I feel like, but we had to try.
I have a weird question.
All right,
He's
shoot.
got a weird answer.
One, Brett, slightly out of not out of game exactly, not exactly a timeout. I don't have any left, but what
See
year
what
is
the
it?
refs say.
What year is it?
2024.
Is that how Pathfinder works?
I know this. I had it written on my notes for
Okay,
book one.
well,
I
okay,
don't have
I
it written on my
guess-
notes
Oh
for
wait,
book
so
three.
it was for
Really
me. I
the-
wanted to say.
So the only thing
When
that
my
really
first
I would
lizard
ask is
died.
like asking him what year it is if that correlates with the normal world.
Hold on, I can come up with this.
time is weird in Dreamlands.
I asked when.
Well, still, what does he say?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know that we've really bothered tracking it that much. We did for a while, obviously. I mean,
He turns and gestures towards one of the previous glass panes that had let one of the offices for the managers look out over the floor of the bank, and you can see tallies scratched all the way across it, hundreds and hundreds of tallies.
we just kind of, I don't know. Nothing. It was a little. I'd go with demoralizing, I guess. So we just kind of stopped tracking it after a few years.
Right.
A few decades, a few hundred years.
I would
feel-
guess. I'd
I think they-
guess probably in the hundreds at this point. So I don't know. I can't tell you an exact number, but and honestly, I can't even remember what it was.
Did
before it
I
happened.
see all the tracking? Can I like Rain Man and be like, that is a, it's
I mean, yeah, you can count until
That's
they gave up.
4,381
like,
days.
Who has
And
an eye for
looking at that, it
numbers?
looked like they were tracking days loosely grouped into weeks, loosely grouped into months, loosely grouped into years.
Yeah,
It looks like they tracked it for about 50 years
yeah.
before they just kind of stopped.
And it's been hundreds of years.
It's
after
like, and that was a really long time ago. It's definitely been at least 8-9 times longer than that we haven't been doing it. So
And did they track what year it was at first?
Yeah, the first they have the first like probably 15 years have headings, but it looks
I'm
like
trying to
this
see if
is-
there's like an actual equation here because if I have a number here, and if I
counting
have
the
a number
tally
here-
marks is kind of difficult because
Yeah.
like this is a wall that it's
have a
very
plus
worn.
20 in
Like it's
intelligence.
yeah, it's real. It's not so much thinking. It's not like you can't count. It's
Yeah,
that the
right.
wall is extremely worn.
Yeah.
Because they not only did this a very, very long time ago, they also kind of there was an attempt to just sort of rub it over. It's still
Yeah.
visible.
I
but
just want to know if we're roughly the same time.
probably. If it's off, it
Okay.
doesn't seem like it's wildly off. You're not
Okay,
like
got it.
thousands of
Okay,
years in the
okay.
past or
I
the
was
future.
like, well, you know, yeah. Like, are we way in the past?
You're
or
in
the future?
vaguely the same. You would guess probably.
I act that out. Like, based off my calculation, we're probably within about 72 years
Here's
of
a
actually
fun-
being accurate.
Here's a fun feat you need to look to get in later is an eye for numbers, and you can just do that immediately.
Huh.
You do, like you look at a bunch of stuff and go, oh yeah, there's 172 gold pieces in that pile.
For what it's worth, the
I mean-
year's 4,717.
4717. Let's give it up for 4717.
4717.
Right, then well we're off.
All right.
Because I wanted to write down
No
when.
more distractions.
Yeah, I mean this real
Yeah.
sincerely.
I was trying to figure out if we're what time place we're in.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Please. Whatever gods may still be watching over this place.
How about if we die, sing songs of our heroism? I guess.
Very monotone.
I don't know if it helps at all, but
Somebody talking him into that.
we took some of the statues from around town, and this is forever ago. This is back when we were still counting. We moved a lot of them out to the cemetery. And just, it's kind of a. You got to come up with stuff to keep sane, I guess. There's a lot of statues that used to be in the church across the street. And if there are any gods still watching us, maybe those statues will protect you.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, they know we've got enough prayers to them. Well,
We'll do what we can.
Yeah. Thank you.
To the cemetery.
On the way to the cemetery, I know that this probably won't work, but is it possible for me to off of something that might be thinner or easier to break off of? Maybe there's grass or there's
see
something
a
like
piece
that.
of this clay.
Yeah.
This is a super easy to get some. There's little tree branches. There's bits of grass. There's all kinds of things you can just snap off.
I want to try and get little sort of pellets because I would like to try and fashion a
Okay.
sort of pseudo.
The difficulty is that the clay is hard clay, it's been fired. It is solid, so you can try to break
This was,
off.
maybe a piece of grass where it would already be maybe
Yeah,
a
kind of
semi
vaguely the
the
correct
shape.
size.
Yeah.
You and there's also just the pebbles on the ground because
Right.
dirt got sculpted.
Yeah.
The stone is the only thing that was spared.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you could definitely make me a crafting check.
I
That'll be
will
your
do it.
Exploration
not so
activity. Yeah,
bad.
it's intelligence based. It can't be that terrible.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Better at it than me.
I didn't roll awesome, but it's a 28.
The 28, you're making your way down out toward the cemetery. Your exploration activity is kind of trying to finagle something into earplugs. You'll see Cammy doing this as she's walking. What are the rest of you doing?
Judging her.
It was worth a shot.
Yes.
Won't you feel foolish if this works as I'm shoving clay in my ear?
It's either gonna be foolish and it does nothing anyways, or I do it or we do it and it's the smartest thing we could have done. I don't know. Can I make an intelligence check if that's a good idea?
So what I
I
can
didn't
tell
do
you,
that.
what I can tell you is there is just straight up. If you choose to deafen yourself, that's a thing you can do. So you can put earplugs in. You have the deafened condition, which you might want to look at because it probably does a little bit more than you think it does.
Okay.
You will have that, and you will get a bonus to saving throws against things that are hearing based. That said, then this is an important distinction for Pathfinder. Sonic damage is not hearing based. That's just a type of damage. But any other effects that their screeching may have, is particularly anything that would result in a fortitude save that's auditory. Anything with I guess there's literally a tag for this. Anything with the auditory tag, you would get a bonus to your saves. But it is for Cammy specifically.
Yeah.
Being deafened does screw up your spellcasting because there are incantations involved in most of your spells, and it's hard to do when you're deaf.
I'm assuming you don't have any kind of spells that would, silence anything we could do.
I mean,
try to...
I could try and settle him down, kind of like I've done before, but I don't.
But it's nothing that would actually reduce sound in the environment.
I could just sort of try and persuade them to not to.
Please. Please
Don't.
Please
Look,
be
it's-
scared
I
of
could
that monster.
Maybe you could try that
Calm
staff
their
first.
emotions.
Oh, interesting.
Huh.
So
Oh, there's
I-
also another way to silence them, and that's just to kill them.
So we're
I'll leave
sticking.
one
with-
little. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll just leave one little earplug. I'll like get it ready where it could go in. I'll leave like one out, one in.
Okay, so you can
Like
like
a
I'll say
gamer.
as an action, you can deafen
Yeah,
yourself.
so where I can kind of decide,
But you're
just
not
like, is this
currently
working?
deafened.
Is this, and then if it's not, I can.
So
figure
are
it
you
out
so
from
are
there.
you starting deafened or not deafened?
I will.
Because if you're deafened, you can just take an action and take the
We're
earplug.
all
Yeah,
just
I'll
talking
start
about
deafened.
Okay.
cats.
And
You
I'll
can
just
take-
kind of
you-
leave one a little loose.
You can
where I
absolutely take an action and just take it out.
Okay.
All right.
Seeking.
Seeking scouting, I assume you're
Yeah.
regulars. What are you doing? my
I'm
good
gonna
sir?
craft me some earplugs.
You know
Also
what it
crafts
is?
earplugs. All right. Give me a
I'd
crafting
rather
check,
do
comrade.
it and it not work than wish I had done it later.
Right. Natural 20.
Natural 20!
The finest earplugs the
And it's
world has ever
crafting,
seen.
And it's plus it's 37.
You find a pair of earplugs. At
Yeah,
the-
you literally find just a discarded,
That's so funny.
non-sculpted. I was gonna say Beats, but yeah, Raycons works. I was gonna say Beats.
Noise canceling headphones.
Noise canceling. Just like
Shoveling.
some Turtle Beach headphones. Like it's.
You got turned into clay and grass and
It
stuff.
turns out the things that did not get sculpted was actually stone and also like that bright orange foam that they make those little earbuds out
my
of.
God.
And yeah, you walk past the firing range and there's just a little package of it. There's exactly two. So
very
there you
convenient.
go.
Really funny.
Like,
Yeah, you had to make those, so you know you could just find them.
Look
They're
at what
right. Yeah, no, I got them
Where'd you get that?
bright orange.
I feel somehow people roll nat 20s on like pass or fail checks. Like that's so unfortunate.
Good job.
But after walking for some time back out of the city and then another, what seems like about a mile and a half down the road, the cemetery seems to open up. First, this ceramic city opens up into just dead land outside. And as you walk beyond the bounds of Arvington itself, more and more of the landscape just unsettles you. Seeing even in the distance, the dirt and the trees, just yellow clay. As far as you can see out to the horizon, it's just porcelain. But finally, you see an enormous cemetery, standing almost like a dead oasis amongst this. All the mausoleums, the fencing, the headstones, it's all gray stone. The paving stones of the walkways themselves, all of this spared this clay fate, this sculpting, just by happenstance of their nature. Dotted with monuments, the cemetery itself is nearly a mile across, reaching out in any direction. It is a massive cemetery for what was once a huge city. And it was once surrounded by a fence. But you can see a section of it facing the city has just kind of been toppled inward, knocked aside to allow the ghoulish denizens of New Arvington much easier access to their meals. Outside the fence are the statues, of which Caresto had spoken, arranged, sort of clustered together in almost a semicircle around the outside of this opening, and then more interspersed further back from that. Yellow porcelain looking into this graveyard. They're sculpted in all manner of activities, some simply standing there as you might expect, some walking, some looking like they're engaged in conversation or even eating. And interspersed among the statues are many, many more figures that look a little more true to life. Sculpted figures of people with simple, normal clothing. Some sleeping, some sitting, some with joy or sadness or just very neutral expressions across their faces. Maybe a half dozen of the proper church statues and a dozen, maybe more. Well, I guess we think at least a dozen of the church statues and then more than that of just the other figures. And at a glance, it's obvious, very obvious, which is which.
Some of them look like they were listening to music too.
Some of them have their headphones on. Some have the Raycons. There's a guy with a bag of Doritos. The label survived the sculpting. You can see it. It's etched on the outside of the bag. Foil Doritos bags also not sculpted. Everything else.
They also don't break down ever. So
No, it's perfect. They survive a million years in a landfill. They'll also survive a sculpting. You know, that's what we're here for. Doritos inside, unfortunately, still clay.
gone.
But
Aw.
as you approach, make me a perception check, Seeker Man.
That's me. I'm the seeker man.
I'm gonna have the headphone.
I rolled an 18 on die. Perception is plus 18, so it's a 36.
As you look at these, nearly all of the statues look a little strange. And at first you think it's just the juxtaposition with what's clearly the sculpted and petrified bodies of actual people that are interspersed with the church statues. But the church statues themselves, the more you look at it, don't look like they were actually placed there. And as that oddity kind of stands out to you, you sort of look around. You can actually see spots around the outside of the cemetery where they were once stood. They were placed kind of interspersed around the outside of the fence. Not all gathered here at this opening, how they are now. And you can actually see in the muddy clay around the outside of this, just the barest impressions of feet that look like they fit the statues, not the people.
I don't.
Oh,
Colby?
no.
I don't like that. This. Let's walk up to one. Just wave my hand in front of its face.
And as you walk up, even to approach this, 10 feet away from this thing, it just turns around and looks at you. And as it does, almost a rippling effect out through the crowd of these things, all of the church statues turn and just look directly at MD. Each of them look like they are sculpted like almost not so much knights, I suppose. They're figures of ambiguous features. They have no notable face, seemingly all to be sculpted like a pantheon of men with simple loincloths around their waists, round shields on one arm, and holding spears at the other, almost looking like a Spartan phalanx of statues standing there. As they all turn to look at you, they lower their spears.
Do they have any recognizable holy symbology on them?
No symbology on them that you can see at all.
I'm gonna pull out the holy symbol of Shelyn that I just carry on me. That is since the asylum. I'm just gonna flash it to them.
You hold this up, hoping on the great gamble that this is the correct god.
It's not.
All of the statues at one step step towards you.
No.
And here we will take our midstream break. And when we come back, we're gonna fight a relatively interesting thing that I don't think we have seen one of these before in any of our shows. Not this monster specifically, but even the type of thing that it is. These fellas, the dozen and a half of them, are treated together as something called a troop. And we'll get into that because there's a little bit of mechanical here when we return. But basically, you ever fought a swarm of full-size people with weapons?
Called a riot.
Don't blink.
Don't go too
Don't
far, everybody.
If we put them in a building,
We'll be right back. Wait, I haven't even said anything yet. What the Welcome back, everybody. I don't know what happened on this break. I just ate some Cheez-Its and called it a day, but apparently some crazy pills were distributed among the party.
we met our gaze.
This is the energy that we're bringing into this combat. So, before we rolleth our initiative and get into business here, why don't we very briefly reintroduce our adventuring party. We'll go the other way around, starting on this side. That's you. Next.
Take your time.
Clap, 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 clap.
Can your name be a sound? Nothing.
think that's
all
what
names
names
are,
are.
sound.
Nice.
20 intelligent characters.
Please. I'm begging you.
A sound effect.
I'm Sully.
I guess they're still.
My name is Sully, and I play Cammy, the itty bitty gnomish.
What happened? What did I
I
miss?
know, and I play Cammy, the itty bitty gnomish witch. Oh my gosh, look over there.
No more smoke breaks in between. No, my name is Brett, and I play Reginald Sedacious Fox. He's a Kitsune. That's it. I don't know. I'm an investigator. What else? do you wanna know?
It's just a kitsune.
Doesn't
It's
have a lot
class.
of words to
This
say.
class
what
is
else do you want?
kitsune.
I don't know. I'll
What do you
introduce
need? What do you need?
What
I
do you
justify my existence
What
for
do
the
you want?
fox man?
My mother's name is.
I am Colby. I play MD, the full-blooded orc rogue. Big, tall, strong, ready to fight.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the Ghoul Dwarf Ranger, and he's a Consume the fish.
Consume the
Oh my
fish.
gosh.
Like consuming a fish, but no,
As-
Kitsune.
We had left
That
off.
would be the joke.
MD had realized that there's something strange about these statues. They seem like they could move, and as he approached one of them, they very definitely do, in fact, move. With spears and shields as the whole group of these once sculpted church statues. The question of what is interesting to you, because they are sculpted, implying the statues were not stone originally, as the stone has all survived the sculpting. Something to ponder later, perhaps, as right now, survival seems to be more immediately interesting. Everybody roll me some perception for initiative, fellas.
Ours is bad. We have earplugs in.
Yes.
If it involves.
Although, if
hearing.
we're not fighting them yet, I
It-
might take them out after this, but I
it-
definitely said
Yeah,
I
if
had
you
them in.
if you have the earplugs in, yes, that definite penalty does apply.
Just a -2.
Is it?
Oh, that's not bad. Oh, no, that's fine. Huh? What's going on over there?
We're doing always clicking things. I'm being a nuisance.
Things to share with the class.
I'm being annoying.
This not just be a sight-based perception check and not a hearing-based perception check?
It's so with is it specifically here based or just
it's-
perception in general?
it's Specifically, I was reading it.
Oh, you're right. For initiative and no,
Yeah, it
for
says
initiative
yeah.
and
For
checks that
initiative's
involve
really
sound.
both. Like
Okay.
Also, just initiative.
we do use a lot of hearing to hit things.
Initiative
but-
isn't the worst thing to have a
Oh, it's
negative on.
So over here in the deaf community, we have Cammy.
I'm 30
That's not
years
bad.
old.
Reginald.
32.
You guys can't lose to the ones who have voluntarily given themselves an initiative
23.
penalty. Oh, Marius at least
I'm
is
gonna get
definitely.
nice and cuddly right in the middle with 31.
We're going backwards
Oh wait, I was
today.
scouting, right?
I'm
Is there a
first.
+1?
That's
So
the
31,
other way
32,
around that we
33,
usually
so
So
go.
it adds it up one. Yeah.
They
I rolled a 5.
so that makes you a 32, and
Yeah.
Cammy at 31.
Wait, what? I was 30.
Scouting? Did you put scouting?
Oh, I
bonus?
didn't include scouting.
Yeah.
You're right.
So that means their 31 goes here
Oh.
instead of here. So your scouting has immediately
Oh.
affected initiative.
Hey!
Look at
Get
you!
help for
You see MD still seemingly committed to waving his hand in front of their faces as they're bearing down on him, unsure of how to react. But Reginald, with a little bit of a better view behind him here, you are the first into the fray. So I will tell you this because there's a little bit. I'll give you the gift of a small amount of Pathfinder rules insight because troops specifically, I feel like it's easy to look at and not immediately understand how they work, and it's just Pathfinder rules, and none of us have followed them before. There are a bunch of these dudes, but they are all functionally treated as like a unit. There are enough of them that, like a swarm, attacking one of them individually doesn't really do anything meaningful because there's like 20 of them. So you're just kind of attacking the group of statues as a whole, or targeting the group of statues as a whole. So don't worry too much mechanically about individual members of this
Right.
unit. And keep that in mind for things that may work more or less good on them as well. That is to say, spells affecting one person's mind are probably completely and utterly useless.
Yeah, so I is up.
Listen, there's a reason they make you prep ahead because mine is really, really bad for this specific.
But like, if it does damage, though, it's not quite a swarm. Swarms are usually like hundreds of things,
Yeah.
so it's not a swarm. So things that do damage to a single target
Yeah.
are still usable, even though they wouldn't be on a swarm normally.
It's just like mine.
But yeah, thing is just like this one
Would
guy is
mental
frightened
damage?
or whatever.
Mental damage would fall into that category.
Yes.
Okay.
Functionally, because their HP is representing the whole unit, it
Yeah.
would be
No, that makes sense.
less
That makes
effective,
sense.
but it would work.
It's unfortunate,
All right.
but it makes
Oh,
sense.
Go ahead. Bro,
Wait,
we
what
only
is my
have hype
leads?
train.
Is my leads is the Womp Foot.
Your leads, the Womp This is not going to be relevant to your leads, unfortunately. This is just some unrelated statues in a dead city.
I can connect them.
Okay. He's a
Give me
conspiracy
2
theorist.
minutes. Okay, I will devise a stratagem.
On the statues.
Them.
As a reminder, with the hype train, whatever level we're at when this is over, I'll hand out that many hero points to the party. So, said 2 already.
Oh my gosh.
With,
Oh, they
with
count
a couple
as
that
one.
just
So,
jumped.
like, my devise a stratagem, if that fails, it's like, what else would I do? I just have
Well,
to come
your
up with
devise
other
a stratagem would be against the statues, not
Yeah.
one of them specifically. It'd
Correct.
be against the whole group of them.
things. Yeah. Oh, that's a natural 1. I think I'm gonna re-roll that one.
It's fair.
Just, well, I think I like it.
I guess that works as a downside. There's also not a different target, so that's kind of the
yeah,
only
that kinda
target.
hurts me.
It's just sort of them, those guys over there.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
You did not roll another 1.
No, I rolled a 4.
That's
times
better.
Oh, Brett.
But it's
Take a deep breath.
would a 22 hit?
I don't
using
know.
A crossbow
Are you
to
using
hit
it?
to shoot at them.
Are you using it?
Would it? Well, I have.
I don't tell you the answer to that unless you're taking the shot. You know that's what you'll get.
So, okay, so I know that
So
I would
you
get a 22.
use one action to devise your stratagem. You know
Right.
if you attack, you'll get a 22.
That,
But you have 2 actions left you can do anything with.
but I can't attack the same thing
If you attack them, you're getting a 22.
in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Because that's what the stratagem is like your attack. Subs and bits go towards the hype train, Haven.
Forbidding word is +1 to what?
Armor class. So
To my
you-
armor class or somebody else's?
Whoever you pick. You forbid.
You pick an enemy. You pick one target. You pick a second target. The second target gets +1 to the armor class against the first target.
I'm gonna
Devise
roll.
a stratagem was already in action,
So you got 2 left.
so I have 2 left. But nobody's next to me. Boo. Okay. So I can't like run over to somebody and touch somebody.
He's thinking.
And
The
it-
curse of the stratagem. The stratagem was not good. Hold on, fellas. The plan has changed.
Yeah.
Everybody stop.
Hold on. The stratagem was
It's
bad.
Dude, like it sends
Give me
you
a
like
second.
grinding halt where it's like
It's like, oh no.
it's awesome because then you get to like read it, but it's like
You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to just do shield on myself, and then I'll even, because you said it was an action, I'll actually take out my earbuds.
Okay. Throwing up a quick canter to protect yourself and pulling the earbuds out. These don't seem like they're going to scream at you, really. You're just kind of getting
Right
ready.
now.
Marius.
If they move as one, is hunting prey like just a
Yep.
group?
The prey is the statues, yes.
Okay, well, I'll hunt prey on them.
It is for better or worse. They are one target.
I don't remember. I may have used it in the fight outside the building we demolished. I forget if I used that or not.
I don't remember.
The
Flip a
sonic
coin
explosion.
for us, AJ.
I'll give you a 50-50. If it's 11 or higher, you roll D20.
Yeah.
If you roll 11 or higher, you
This is
you
important.
didn't use it because I don't remember.
15. Okay.
You didn't use it.
Yay.
you
I
still
don't
have it.
remember it that way.
So I was thinking about using it. I am a little afraid to because it might attract attention.
Oh well.
Level 2 hype train for the chat, by the way. Who doesn't have 3 hero points? Obviously.
I have 2.
I have 4 because I
Does everybody else have 3?
I have 3.
Yeah.
I don't
used
have
one.
3.
no.
No.
I'm the only valid target
No,
for
no,
this
no, 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 no,
ability.
no, no.
Is this for me?
Yeah, it's for you.
Who get what?
The hype train.
Hype train. When there's a hype train,
Fun times.
put that
I'll
back.
take it. Sure, why not?
Okay, that's fair.
I would. Could I use my stone cunning to try to see if I could like identify any weaknesses on them?
maybe?
Sure, I'm still gonna need a crafting check, but honestly, I'll give you stone cutting for it. They're like clay, but I'll give it to you. Well, I roll it because you don't know if you critically fail or not. Did you roll
rolled
something like
18.
But he loves crafting.
This is his
Marcus,
thing.
he never gets to do it, but he loves it.
What's your bonus?
It's a plus 14, but I think that I've also got. I think it'll be a plus 2. Yeah, plus 2 for stone stuff.
Okie
For
dokie.
stone stuff.
For
Looking
stone stuff.
at them, crafted of this yellow clay as they are, you feel like the clay is functionally just soft stone. It'd be pretty easy to bash through them with like hammers or bludgeoning equipment, but it's soft enough that you feel like other stuff's probably fine. It's just not quite as good as hit it with a hammer.
Okay. We might need to use our battering gnome to try to get through them.
The one we
So you
just
have
got.
2 actions left.
Okay.
One to think.
I'm
It's
going
been
to.
5 weeks. We gotta remember how the characters
Yeah,
are.
man. It's,
Well, I mean, it's not even just remembering. This is like I'm not really sure what's going to be effective because just
Not
shooting an
precision
arrow
damage.
is not going to be
Not
particularly
precision
useful.
damage. Not immune to precision damage, actually. Because the individual
What about
guys can
flat-footed?
take precision damage. That's going to be your challenge. Is leveling them.
Well, I'll flurry ranger. I'm going to give him a hunted shot. To give
Okay.
Nice. Just to kind of shoot in the middle.
Give a little blap blap.
That's a 16 and a natural 20.
Okay.
oh my gosh.
What's the total on the 16?
That would be my second roll. So that's
Very
seven-
squishy clay.
16 plus 17 was a 33.
That's a hit and a hit.
Yeah. So, one.
Well, I mean, a hit and a crit, obviously.
Yeah,
20
hit and a
crits. Like, they're not immune to
Okay.
critical hits either. You're going to one statue, almost certainly going down.
This, do they get the sonic damage?
They will take the sonic damage, yes.
And then this is the part where the amount of time is going to be rusty on my math here. So that's 8,
I don't know why.
12,
I'm last.
16 for the regular hit.
16 damage.
Yes. And
And then biggest critus.
that's a little lower. I don't like that. Wait, that's a 1. That's a 1. Okay, so
Are we going to have the world's saddest crit?
yeah, 4, 8. Oh wait, no. Yeah, 4 plus 2 plus. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't be depressing numbers, Marcus. It's a
4,
crit. It's got to be big and cool.
20.
That's not big and cool at all.
And I don't know. Can they be pinned to each other?
I mean, you with that crit can certainly pin a pair of them together. It's not going to meaningfully stop the bulk of the horde. You have 1 action left, I believe. Oh, you hunted prey. So that
Yeah.
would be 3, I guess. You didn't really have prey to hunt before we started fighting. The squad of statues here, all of these clay soldiers, once icons of the church, stride forward around MD, approaching like a wave as they move to wrap up around MD, near surrounding him with their figures and approaching up towards Reginald as well. I believe they would be just outside of range of getting to Cammy, but they would kind of spread loosely, forming a front that faces you as they approach. A battle line of massive ceramic shields and spear tips. Good luck, Arcadis. He's gonna get to
Oh.
do some wiggly adapting with all of these guys and making a shape, and then whatever he makes is where they actually are, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of fellas.
You gave him power.
Are they flat-footed if you're surrounded? Like, you just swing in any direction.
Flat-footed when he's adjacent to my ally.
He is they're adjacent to an ally. They're Archon treated as one thing. I'd give it to you. And as they come around, all of these spears thrusting out, a legion of them towards both MD and towards Reginald. Now, with a troop, because you are taking a whole lot of spears all at once, It is not actually an attack roll. You are going to make a save, just like they were a swarm. And MD, you're going to take a -2 on yours because you are surrounded.
Cool.
Reflex save.
No. Hold on.
Is my rogue dancing? Oh, he's.
I'm
hero
gonna use
points
this
are coming
hasty
out.
block that I was gonna use to raise a shield, but instead I'm just gonna use it to
Fair enough.
roll this. Hasty block came from Kevin, actually.
Kevin!
Kevin
I miss
reroll.
Kevin. We all miss
Thanks, Kevin. You made it worse.
Kevin, come on, man.
It's a total of a 21. I rolled a 3.
That's what the -2?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good because that doesn't critically fail. So, Rogue, how about you, Reginald?
I'm going to also play one of my cards and re-roll because I didn't roll great. That's only one better.
You did better than me, buddy.
Uppies.
No, I didn't. Reflex of... Oi.
Always a great noise.
Oi.
What you got, Chief?
Don't like that.
I'm going to accept my destiny. This could be dumb. 28.
Regular failure. He got 21. What do you mean that we're not or worse than him?
Well, I just don't want to die.
2 regular failures.
Great.
So they are going to spend functionally 2 actions worth of thrusting with the spears. And each of you are going to take 27 points of piercing damage.
I don't like that one. Yeah, that's not
One
good.
bit.
I don't like that one bit of idea.
Cammy,
Hey, man.
what's up?
I'm just looking at how many spells I prepped for living creatures or mental damage.
This isn't either of those
Crazy.
things.
You know what I know I can do is take out my earplugs.
That's fair.
Action 1.
First action, no earplugs. Makes
All
sense to
right.
me.
Yeah, that'll work for me. My second action. Gosh, this looks so bad. This looks real bad.
All the shattering porcelain noises.
We haven't
That's actually
really
really
funny.
cool.
Oh, you did hit them.
I did hit them.
He shattered one.
Yep.
Good job.
I'm going to look over at Marius and be like, "You got this, right?" Yeah, you got this.
They're
I'm
just
gonna
marching towards you.
and I'm going to make some distance.
That's fair. What's
for
your-
my own personal retreat while I stoke Marius.
Yeah.
You got what, 25 speed?
Yeah.
Okay, 25 feet back.
I've
That seemed to
got
be about as far
legs.
as they moved, so that works.
All right.
Just keep enough
I'll
of.
go
All you
over
gotta
here.
keep is a 5-foot gap
right.
between the two of you. They're no short spears. They don't have
I
reach.
went off camera.
Yeah, she's gone.
She's
Gone
gone.
from this world.
That makes me happy.
I kind of just.
Yeah,
guess
I
I'll
don't
just
need the
use-
full 25 feet.
Use a
Maybe
gaggle
like
of random dude
15
tokens to just
or
kind of
something.
like vaguely indicate
within
where the
30?
line.
Yeah. I don't want the full
logically be, I
25
guess.
feet. I want to still be within like 30 feet of them. So just a couple.
Like,
I could come back on
You're
screen.
good, but
Just as
I'll
long
just
as
warp
I'm
this
here.
around.
I want to still be on the screen.
I want to be on this screen. Run north. I don't know.
Whatever. There I am. I'm back.
Gammy's returned
that's
from her
great.
vacation.
And then I was. No, I wasn't recalling knowledge. Actually, I was building.
No, you were making.
I was
little
building
earplugs.
earplugs. So
You can recall knowledge.
You have an
no, I
action.
moved
Move, stoke,
plugs.
plugs.
Mm.
Then MD.
All right. Does
You
it
have can now wave your hand in front of their faces if you chose to use.
hand down? The first quick observation: does it look like I can take advantage of them attacking? Are they ganged up on? Do I get the advantage of?
I
ganged up?
will give you gang up because there are like some you can focus the ones that are kind of between the two of you.
Okay.
So I would give you gang up.
Cool.
yes.
That changes my plan. I'm going to. Did Marius convey what you learned about them probably being weak to the hammers?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna focus.
I find
on,
most people are weak to hammers.
Yeah. Yeah. Fact. And this is kind of like common sense too. They're porcelain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna focus
Very
on
smashable.
my
It's well known
gauntlets.
for that.
Smash
And the
that.
plates are going to shift out and form a shaft when they all move up to the top and form a broad head with spikes on one side, like a bunch of little spikes on one side and a bigger
You
spike
make
on
it
the
an
other.
earthbreaker.
It's an
We're
earthbreaker.
making an earthbreaker. We're gonna break some earth today. You're a rogue, by the way.
Hulk
Rogue.
smash.
Unga.
Unga. The real question is, are these animated objects?
No,
That's fair. I roll a 10 on the die. It's a 31 total
they
versus the
are
5.
constructs. They're not animated
Yeah,
objects.
yeah, that's fine.
And 31 will absolutely hit their flat-footed.
Cool. Earthbreaker is a D6. This is the cool Dream World weapon.
Wait, Earthbreaker's only a D6?
Only it can be two-handed for a D10.
Oh.
Yeah, but it has raising
okay.
too. But better than a fist.
I currently just have not seen 2E Earthbreaker.
Yeah.
I just remember it being the giant D12 mallet from first edition.
A whole bunch of D6s. They're not immune to precision, right?
They are not immune to precision. You're right, because individual targets are big enough that you can get sneak attack. They're not immune. The troops are not immune to nearly as many things as swarms.
What about the debilitations?
Debilitations affecting individual targets probably would not affect the troop as a whole.
That's a good roll.
That is a really good roll. So
Where you smash them
10,
out through multiple dudes.
20, 25.
Woo! Woo!
I just find 2 that are turned towards Reginald and just bring it right through its head.
All right, you do in fact smash your hammer through several of them, and you have battered down enough of the warriors at this point that the whole of the bulk is starting to get a little bit smaller. You want to delete 2 of them?
You just deleted 2 of them.
Holy.
And you got 1 action left.
That's another swing, my guy.
Hit him.
We swing for the fences here. And you know what?
Hit him!
Hit him!
This is an Ancestral Might, which would be really good for other stuff, but this came from Scott.
Scott!
And Scott has never betrayed me once. 5.
It's better.
Scott betrayed you a little bit.
It's a little bit better. It's a
A little bit. Well,
21.
21 not bad. It's
But-
not quite that easy.
One more once. This is a Desperate Swing from Arcadus.
Oh my gosh.
During my
I'm not
turn,
done
I
yet.
make a strike, ignoring multiple attack penalty. If I roll a crit success, it's a normal success.
Oh!
If I roll a failure, I think if the attack fails, I release my weapon or drop prone if we were using unarmed attack.
Throw your hammer into the crowd. Let's go.
17 on the die. It is a 38 total.
That would very much crit. Oh, but with a desperate swing, it's just going to be 1 solid hit.
That's still good.
4, 6. I had another 6 of damage earlier. I forgot to add my actual innate damage. I just added the dice.
That was just the dice.
That was just the dice. 6, 10, 15, 21.
21. Another pair of soldiers shattered as the horde continues to dwindle.
We'll blow all 3 0 points in a single round.
Well, you destroyed like a third of the horde, so... Reginald!
Did I notice that bludgeoning damage did?
I mean, you definitely see a large hammer just absolutely shattering porcelain warriors.
Because
so.
I have the I have that exquisite sword, but I also have the sheath, and the sheath does bludgeoning, but only D4. But I'm like, does it seem like they're a little bit weaker to bludgeoning?
They seem pretty weak to bludgeoning, yeah. Let's
Channel your inner bull in a porcelain chop.
Right. So, yeah, I will devise a stratagem.
Okay. To hit him with a stick.
Yeah, and that 34.
You going with it?
Yeah, I'll go with that
Okay,
one.
34 will hit. You pull up the sheath and just
Yeah.
smack it through these
So
guys.
I notice what's happening. I actually just kind of like I put my sword down, and I actually pulled out the sheath itself, like if it was a sword, and just get a little fancy with it.
Give you damage.
All right.
So when he hits them with the melee attack,
Oh, yeah, baby.
opportune backstab.
The thing.
I don't know. Strategic strike. That was like if I hit somebody without. No, I did devise a strategy.
You did devise strategy, man.
Yeah,
You
so
used
I don't need to worry
strategy.
about that one.
It doesn't
Alright.
matter what weapon you use, just that you devised.
All right. Well,
So you get some bonus
Six.
D6s in there, too.
I'll let him finish
6 plus 3 is 9.
While he's doing math, what do you got?
I rolled a 15 on the die plus 21, 36 total.
36 will crit, baby.
Here we go.
9
I'll
plus
also do
7,
math.
16. 18 damage.
18.
Yep. So that was.
46.
Oh my gosh.
And they're prone.
I think the ones you hit are
And
just
they're
gone.
prone.
I think the ones you hit are just straight up gone.
That's the-
So Reginald batters down one of these with the shaft or the sheath of his cane sword, the cane itself, as MD bashes through another 3 of them. There should be 8 total left. So, yeah, looks right
like
to me.
it.
All right.
Making so much more. I believe I have one more
We have
action.
one action left.
So I'm gonna just attack again. Like
Hit him
Natural 19. That was good. 38.
Oh my gosh.
with the -4 from second attack.
So it'll be 34. You minus the 4.
34 is a regular hit.
Okay.
Get him, get him,
Regular
get him.
Yeah.
Not devise a stratagem again. I'm
No,
not
so yeah, it's just a regular hit.
that doesn't count. Has to be in the thing.
Has to be the thing. That's the rules. We know. We all know the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's double
that's
fours.
good. That's 4. That's 11 there, but yeah, did that.
What if I told you that 11 was actually 21 because of the bludgeoning weakness?
Oh my gosh.
They're good. They're good. It's weak bludgeoning 10.
Smashing
man.
through.
What we're seeing here is the power of weakness bludgeoning 10. You guys are annihilating them because every one of these hits is doing 10 extra damage. They've taken 50 or 60 just from the bludgeoning weakness at this point.
The first hit I did with a few. The second one I stick the sword in and I double hand and start just going crazy.
Just shattering another one in
Yeah.
front of you there, Marius. Like, weaknesses are so strong. If something is weak bludgeoning, literally just punch them. Like, it's almost
Seeing
better.
The way that the bludgeoning has worked, and is kind of feeling like Marius is feeling a little empowered, kind of being around other ghouls, in a city like this. I want to try something insane.
That's on par for the course. Let's go.
All right, I'm listening. Give me your insanity.
I would like to run toward the group that's kind of in front of me, and then
Okay.
use my feet, which unfortunately I didn't write down, so I don't remember the exact words. But it's
The
my
ability, I don't know what it does.
it's my ghoul feat that I just took that lets me do like wall climb. So I want to kind of climb up, do a running climb up them, and that feat I'm pretty sure lets me do an action when I get to the top.
What are you... Okay.
And so when I get to the
Suplex
top of one of them, I want to use a high jump to jump up
You're gonna ground pound him?
and try to body slam them.
It's Marius from the top rope. Where's Gary? Where's Gary? Gary would love
Okay.
this.
So,
It's quite impressive.
you're going to run at the nearest soldier, run up them, and jump. And then there's your final action. Just land on them aggressively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use your body
So,
as a weapon.
You've seen it.
yes.
He does a little flip, and then he's sitting in midair as he goes.
A large part of me wants to pretend that they don't have attack of opportunity. But they are a literal spear phalanx that you're running
Gonna
into.
try it
stabbed
anyway.
in the butt.
There's going to be a little bit of poking that happens here. It's going to be a mild amount of poking, which I guess make a reflex save because they don't have an attack modifier. That's not how they work. To dodge the spears as you go in.
He did.
20, 32.
They'll take half.
He did it.
And I think, do I get evasion on that?
his
He dodges the
Do I
spears,
get
ladies and
evasion?
gentlemen.
We're the
He's
pro
up.
reflex.
He dodges the
He
spears.
doesn't know the rules for the original feat, but
he just jumps up the ladder
I know
of
stone.
spears, launching himself
I know
into the air.
stone. I know stone.
Make me an attack roll. Marius,
Oh my
just an
gosh.
unarmed attack. Using your body.
It's a 16 plus, I don't know, my 17 is for my dagger. I'm assuming it's something along those
Minus
lines.
probably whatever your dagger enchantment is. Was it +2?
Yeah, so I mean,
minus
we'll
two?
just say 31. Why not? 30. even.
Dirty. Absolutely gonna hit. As he comes down. What do I do for this? What is the difference?
Just give him a D6, I
Roll
guess.
me. Just okay. They have 36 health right now as a unit. 10 of that is the elbow drop bonus. So they have 26 health. What's your unarmed damage?
What is my unarmed damage? I think I wrote that down at one point, but I do not.
It's like claw damage, right? Your ghoul claw.
The claw, I believe, was a D6.
I'm gonna give you 10 for falling damage bonus. So we'll say 16 kills him.
Okay. So if I get a 6, or no, wait,
I don't know how much damage your claw could possibly do. but-
no, I think the claw was a
You
D6,
want a
so it's a
six.
6. So 6.
Plus-
Oh, it
plus
can't just be
3.
6.
Oh,
Or +2 from strength, +2 from expertise,
okay
plus
then.
5.
11.
11.
11.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
Can't get the gun.
Almost. But as you crash down through one of these statues, absolutely just obliterating them, they're going to first use an action to just sort of reconvene here in the middle as those that are left kind of form up with their shields, and they are going to muster together sort of in the middle of this melee, thrusting out with spears in every direction. And a reflex save from the three of you that are not like 25 feet away.
You did get 7 temporary HP, by the way.
Oh,
when
and
I cast
also there
that
was the
hex on you.
damage, so there would be an additional 2 damage.
Okay,
Get
so they
wrecked.
have 3 health instead of 5.
It's not 2. It's
I'm throwing.
what's your soak at now? Is it 4 or 3?
4.
They have 1 health instead of 5.
I'm pretty sure it's 4. I'm cantrip level 5.
I am going.
Collectively.
I'm going to use my chronomancy because I rolled a natural 1 on that save.
Ah, fair enough.
have so much in
There's the one where I believe I guess get to re-roll.
Yes, there's one, just re-roll a thing.
Right. Once.
Okay, that's the one you can do reactively, is re-roll a thing. And then you can give one of your allies
A reroll.
a re-roll
Yes.
to, like, in advance. But your reactive re-rolls once a day.
Okay. All right. That reflex is better, so that's a 30. Did you want me to help you?
No, it's okay. I got it.
So you got a 30?
I'm sorry. You're distracting me. I'm trying to.
30 is
I'm
a
sorry, I'm
regular
sorry.
success. Natural 1.
21.
The natural
Let me
1.
do
Yeah.
some.
Lol.
36.
36 is a regular success. So two
And
of
it's
you
a
are
critical success.
okay. So one of you is taking nothing. One of you is taking half, and one of you is taking double, just because you are the most in the bulk of the horde here.
Sticks and magic may break my bones, but stone can't hurt me.
Because you know stone.
Because I'm stone.
Reginald takes 14. MD takes 56. Marius low profiles this all by having his elbow embedded in the ground.
What's crazy is if I could just roll higher than a 5.
And Cammy.
Legally, you're allowed to.
I also have something funny I want to try.
Okay.
Just to see how easy it is.
They are porcelain clay soldiers. They're not the
So-
sturdiest things.
I want to look over at them and kind of like get a bearing for my surroundings and noticing the way that they're shattering, made of hard material. I'm gonna kind of look down at my arm and I'm gonna knock on it and I go, "No way, me too." I have enough movement to rush through the entire thing snake-wise. I want to, with my head forward like a bull. I want to try
Battering
and run through all of that.
Battering
Cammy.
gnome.
Make me an unarmed attack roll.
Okay? I don't even know what that is.
It's an insane question for our gnome witch.
I've never been prompted for such a thing. What would
You would
those
roll.
numbers be?
You are, I assume, probably trained. So
We can
you're,
give me that.
you're level 10.
Yeah.
Trained is 2. That'd be a plus 12. What's your dexterity modifier? 3,
de-
you said?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say plus 15 is what you would be rolling.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Plus 15 to just
For the best thing I'm ever gonna do,
run directly into them.
I've got 4 hero points.
Bull in an almost literal china shop.
All right, plus 15. It's an 8 on the die. Maybe I should go again.
One more time. One
no,
more
Max.
time.
One more. That's not gonna do it, right? We know it's higher than that. So let's use one of these. Huh?
What?
1 HP.
She's just gotta hit it.
I just gotta hit
we
it.
know. She's gonna do a minimum of 10 damage for the punching
If
weakness.
she fails, it's just because she's so tiny she runs right
I'm
between
trying to
them.
figure out the
Legs!
thing.
Like bounces off people's
This
knees.
is from Nebula 315.
Nebula 315.
Nebula 315. That's my
remember
best
everybody.
friend.
Write it down.
Man.
All right,
Hey, I'm so bad to my fans.
here we go.
Okay.
It's a 9. It did get a little higher. So that's maybe if I type it out, it'll feel higher. Then it's 24.
I'm gonna give you flat-footed
Okay,
from gang up.
come on.
Because that's both ways, right?
Yeah, it's both ways now.
So a 24 hits.
Here
Cammy,
I come!
what happens?
I like an Olympic racer, like one hand on the ground, and then she imagines her own gun firing, and she takes off. And And like Sonic the Hedgehog, I barrel through all of them, darting around until there's nothing left.
You hit them like pinball bumpers.
You see
Glass
Cammy's
shattering in my
tiny
wake.
little gnome body like physically bouncing off of them as she runs into them, completely unharmed, but shattering their little porcelain legs as she runs through level 13 monster, by the way. As she runs through,
I'm so ready to use my new debilitation.
Collapsing.
I don't think I can use them against.
the last of these statues. Now,
She's
topple-
basically like a mini juggernaut. Because she has actually high intelligence.
This is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
strewn across the ground are arms, torsos, and shields, cracked soon within the time scale of the people of this city to be ground to dust like so much else. Some incidental damage has shattered and defiled some of the frozen bodies. Certainly once people living their normal lives. Now, two to be forgotten out here in the cemetery. But you, my friends, have emerged victorious.
I'm perforated.
I'm gonna do
And
battle
a little
medicine.
perforated.
I'm very
MD's
perforated.
pretty bleeding. He got stabbed like a lot of times.
Huh.
How bad are you?
I'm below half health.
Oh, I'm also pretty bad as
Actually-
well. Is it just what? Can I take 2 actions and battle medicine both of us?
You can regular medicine if you want to spend 10 minutes, or if you want to use the battle medicine, because that's the once an hour you can use it. It's up to you.
Do you guys want to sit here for 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
While
Outskirts of the
they're-
cemetery seem to be safe enough.
While they're battle medicine, can I like make sure that we have not attracted any attention?
As you scout around, you're looking, right?
Yeah, like I'm not
perception
gonna
check.
necessarily need to leave. I just kind of want to, make sure that there isn't anything obvious coming toward us. 32.
The 32, looking into the cemetery and around the outskirts here, you don't immediately see any movement. But as you really look inside and kind of focus, you can see clearly this is the side of the cemetery that the ghasts have been exhuming. This is obviously where they started. This is the side closest to town. You see myriad open graves. And some of the dirt there does appear to be kind of surprisingly fresh. As you look a little more, you can see a bit of movement.
Hold
A
on.
few
I
dozen
gotta
yards
heal him.
inward past the fence. It doesn't seem to be coming towards you. It seems to be at a fair enough distance, and it's the sound of a bunch of porcelain soldiers shattering didn't attract their attention. You figure you're probably okay to patch up your wounds.
Wait, I got battle medicine I got down. What if I'm just doing like a normal medicine? What is...
Same result.
It's
Battle
the same
medicine gives
thing.
you the same amount of health. It's just
Battle
in
medicine.
one action
You can
instead
do
of 10
it in
minutes.
a...
Oh, okay.
Bad.
Same
What's
heal.
the difference between the 10 minutes and the 1 action?
The battle medicine has a cooldown, so once you do battle medicine someone, you can't battle medicine them again.
Oh, okay, so this is normal.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. This
Okay.
doesn't influence that at all.
Got it. So I will
And-
do 2d8 plus 20, but it's a DC 20.
From Haven the Oracle, can't have Colby at 0 hero points.
Going from 3 to
Take
0.
Take with 3 to 0
fast.
instantly.
Thank
So
you.
you're going for
if it's
DC
6
20 on
seconds.
Whomst?
Out for Kobe. Yeah, I rolled a 8, so it's fine. It's plus 17. That's 25. So I
Yep, you're good.
Hit it. So here you go, sir.
So what is it with all your various fun little modifiers?
It's 2d8 plus 20.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Is that right? Yes. 2d8 plus 20.
I know you got some stuff that give the buffs the rider a bit, so that sounds right.
5. So it's 25. 25
25
HP.
health, some wounds patched up, and is anyone doing anything for Reginald while he's doing that? You have the chain of monkeys picking bugs out of each other's back here.
Since we're already spending 10 minutes, we could probably spend 20, and so I'll do the lay on hands
Okay.
machine, and then get back that focus point. So go ahead and take... This puppy's up to a lot now. It's 30.
30, yep. To who? Both of them? Or-
I'll do Reginald first.
30
I
health
get
to
30?
Reginald.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you just did him.
Yeah.
And if we're taking enough time, we could just
That's
do
up to
the
you.
thing.
Marius is telling you you can definitely see something inside the cemetery
Gonna
a few dozen yards away,
Okay.
but it doesn't seem to be approaching
I
you yet.
apparently am stocked up on potions of healing that I forgot that I bought just for coming into the dreams.
Oh, yeah, you got your dream
I'm just
potion.
down
in.
11 HP.
So
Oh, you're fine.
I'm just gonna chug down a couple of those. I have 5
Dream potions.
dream potions. I'm gonna chug down a couple of them. You see MD just pop out two
I forgot
potions
dream
just
potion.
at the same time. Green potions. There's another D6 somewhere, but I'll do it. This first one gives me beep, 11 plus 6, so 17, and then another 15 plus 6.
I don't know.
15 plus 6
17
is
plus
21.
21 is 37.
Oh.
37.
I was just answering 15 plus 6. I
Right,
don't know where the rest of
that's
the numbers came from.
No,
Oh,
it was
like I
the
could do
first-
that one.
It was the first potion.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I feel better.
So we'll lay on hands, 10 minutes of medicine and recollection and refocus, plus a few potions. Patches up the worst of the wounds from the ceramic guardians.
And that's perforated.
Mari is still keeping an eye on whatever is inside the graveyard. Catches a glimpse of a very, what looks like bulbous, gray, hairy body occasionally sticking up from one of these graves.
I'm putting
Marius, how far away are they?
Oh, I should.
How far away are they?
Oh, let's go like 50 yards.
About 50
You
yards.
think you can hit it from here?
Yes.
It's like fully in a grave. So it'd have
maybe.
Greater cover?
like greater cover for sure, yeah.
I mean, I think you can hit it from here.
I could probably from here.
Get ourselves ready here and just lure them this way.
What?
Hi.
Sorry. What?
Guys, I think that's one of them.
We should have Marius hit one from a distance.
That's a great
I
idea.
think they're not listening.
I think they're stupid.
Yeah. They can talk about them. They can't hear us.
Yeah, I know, right? They'll never know.
Are we going into this? We just want to try to get one's attention.
That's the best I can think of. Like, I don't know the best way to handle these things. I don't know what they're capable of.
All right. Well, I would have hunted prey on it, I guess.
Yeah, you could certainly be hunting the prey of the one that you spotted.
And
If we're prepping before we head there,
Yeah, we're definitely prepping.
then
You can literally like if you can see the one from here, you can arrange yourselves out here like however you see fit. You can prepare whatever you want, especially if you got Marius to shoot from the distance.
could I double stoke them?
Can you have two stokes going?
Well, I can only cast one per turn.
Oh, you sustain one and put a
Yeah.
stoke on someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's nothing that says you can't have two of the same hex going, then yeah.
I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware
I've done
of.
that, but I've had.
I'm
three
not a
I've
witch
had three
specialist.
stoke
That's
going.
true. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, absolutely. You can be sustaining one and just have two of them going as the starts. You can just have your stokes ready. The stokes have been raised.
Shield
I
and
don't know the
Forbidden
range
Ward, are
on the
those only
teleport strike.
per
Should be the
turn?
range of that.
You do not know.
Oh, we can try.
are these like statues that are on the map or anything?
Yeah, I mean there are some more just various. Like the cemetery itself still did have
How
some. There are some stone
tall-
statues around.
And basically, is there cover I could get behind?
And,
yeah, I think it would be definitely something you could set behind.
And how high are these mausoleums?
The mausoleums that you see in front of you are probably about 10 feet high. They're fairly square.
And we know these things are large, so they can reach up on top of those pretty easily.
Question. Forbidden Ward, is that only per turn? Like that one
Yes.
turn? Okay.
That is now you can keep it up just like Cammy does with her hexes. You can use an action to sustain it, but it's both a single turn and it's a single target. So if there are like a bunch of womps, only one of them is going to be forbidden and only from hitting one of you.
Oh, got it.
That also probably wouldn't do anything about the screaming if that's going to be a problem.
You gotta look up. Oh, by the way, one idea I had potentially for this was to use our little jug of spraying water to try to, shoot it in the mouth if it tries to scream.
Hold the line.
Oh
To
my
give it the
gosh.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, don't we have a jug of spraying? Well, I'm talking too loud. Sorry with these earbuds in.
What?
I just like repeat your idea right after you say.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
That was
What
my
is it?
idea, right?
And then as soon as Marius is ready, you can ask for a signal. He's gonna cast protection on Cammy. It's my level 1 spell slot.
Protection.
Protection. You have
Protection.
+1 to
Liter-
armor class and saving throws.
Wait, who's going in?
And I've
And
got my
I'm
special
gonna
bracelet.
just give an opening shot from here.
Yep.
Would haste help one of you guys?
Could haste him. Him.
Mhm.
I will go and touch Marius and be like,
Oh, I wish we could prep like this.
Protection.
For every fight. This is awesome.
Haste. 2 stokes. Arrow.
Okay.
ready.
Just for a foot.
I mean, Marius will
Just
pull his
for a
bow back
minute.
and really concentrate, really just kind of try to look for like the moment, seeing if maybe even if there's like a little repetitive pattern.
And I will give you 1 free opening shot
I also
before
shift
we roll initiative here.
my weapon into a pick.
A big old pick.
Classic.
Classic.
And I'm going to use Hunter's Aim for this.
Hunter's aim. All
Get
right,
'em.
1 big shot.
Okay, that's 14 plus 20, 34.
So 34.
And that's a +2 circumstance bonus, and I ignore the praise concealed condition. So 36. And it's not concealed.
36. They're not concealed. That's not the problem you have. The problem is cover.
Ah.
And with a greater cover is a +4. So that is, even from this distance, you are going to loose an arrow that whistles through the air, just catching the hide of this womp barely sticking up out of the grave.
Dude,
Got his butt.
nice.
That's going to land.
I got it in the book.
What kind of damage you got?
I think that's just going to be the regular piercing plus this 1d6 sonic. If I can,
Right.
It'll take that.
And 4.
And
Oh,
4
and
from
4.
start.
I got all that.
It was a nice
like
roll.
Yeah, it was a
The way that
connect
like they all.
four.
Yeah.
You know.
This is like
Anyways.
Mario's hour right now. Like, big open
22.
field.
22. And as the arrow hits, you see this thing immediately kind of scramble and react and sink down into the grave before a kind of rhythmic screeching call echoes out across the cemetery. And you see the womp crawl up over the side of the grave and emerge. But that one there that you shot at is very much not the only one of these womps. You see huge, gray, hairy, bulbous bodies clambering up out of graves all across a massive area of the cemetery before you. Each of their strange, squat little faces with almost a pig's nose hanging down over big fangs and these long, extensive bat-like ears.
Oh gosh.
The whole body of they are not
Oh gosh.
pretty creatures.
They're, oh my gosh.
they're
They're
horrible.
awful.
They're not pleasant to look at. No.
I've seen uglier.
No eyes
This isn't Smash.
anywhere that you can really see. If they even
Smash.
have vision, you're not sure where from.
Ugh, gosh, they're really bad.
Almost the whole of this thing gray, save for the pink flesh of their snout, the tips of their ears, and the bright red skin of their webbed feet.
I can change him.
And
Little piggies.
there are like a half dozen of these things clambering up out of nearly every
We
open
just need 1 foot.
grave that you can see.
We just need 1 foot.
They have plenty of them. There's like
Oh my
6
gosh.
each.
That is not what I thought a red webbed
No, they're
foot
not.
would be
They're not
attached
pretty
to.
looking guys. No, womps are unpleasant creatures. Now would be the point where I would have you roll initiative.
No.
Were it not like 546. And I know that this is a people cannot particularly stay after kind of situation. But I did forget something on the first battle. You have an initiative ability.
I do.
And as
That's
these
what I was looking
womps
at.
all start to emerge from the grave, you once again see everything freeze and shudder. And you feel this energy around you, this
Yes.
flow of time, this stream that you can stabilize, you can destabilize, or you can just ride.
So there's one where I have 10 plus my modifier.
Yeah, you have roll normally, get a 10 for free,
Yeah.
or it's either a 1 or a 19. The coin flip.
Based off of there, I think actually I'll take the 10,
Take the 10.
and
fair
then
enough.
I just
Just
add
sit
my
right in the middle.
perception to
For the
that.
first time, yeah, it's just like you roll.
But
the
it's also
10.
minus 2.
For the first time, rather than just sending this into chaos mode, you decide to kind of ride this, to harden it, to solidify this flow here. And as you do, you see a little bit of light around you, like a blue glow across the ground. You turn around and you see this star matter eye creature, four-armed thing, immediately right behind you. The whole bulk of this thing's body, this massive eye that is its core, is again just regarding you. You get a strange feeling out of it, a feeling of almost approval somehow. And then it turns and looks over to the rest of your party and these festering masses inside them. And it reaches its little tail out, not for the threads that connect any two of them this time, but to Marius in the source. And right as the tip of this tail seems to get there, everything you see starts to twitch and shatter and break.
Like the yellow energy inside of
The
him? or-
whole of your vision, the whole of this scene, the color washed out, frozen in time, almost glitches and jerks and jumps back and forth and around in a way that's disorienting and impossible to keep track of. And then you feel a massive lurch.
Massive what?
A lurch. Like you're pulled.
Oh, yeah.
Like the top, pressing the very top of a roller coaster as you go to drop down. And it's there that we'll leave today's episode.
All right.
Good shot.
I'm in danger.
It was a good shot. It was a great shot. But
Time to wake up.
that's going to be it for us today, everybody. Sorry about the 5-week gap. We're gonna, try not to do that again. That's longer than the gap I think we had between seasons. And it was just kind of spontaneous. If you weren't here at the beginning of the show, it's been 2 hurricanes since we've been here doing Strange Aeons. And through a confluence of scheduling issues and acts of God, we have missed lots and lots of sessions. We are going to attempt to fix that. Because not only did we miss all those weeks, we also don't really have anything else going on in UGT right now. And I want to. We need things. We need cool things that are fun. We like our shows back. We used to have like 3 shows a week. So we're going to be coming to you guys with a new enhanced schedule here soon. Not just for Strange Aeons, but for UGT as a whole. New weekly schedule with a new slate of shows. And Strange Aeons, just as a heads up, isn't necessarily going to be on Saturday anymore, because that is kind of the root cause of a lot of the missing episodes issues, is the fact that it's on Saturday, and that doesn't work super well with my job anymore. So, while I got you here, you should check out a couple of our sponsors, some of our partners. You can check out Arkenforge. Look how cool their maps are and all the fun stuff we can do with them. Arkenforge is cool and good and awesome. And they have a discount code. It's UGT Show. It gives you a discount off of the core essentials bundles for both the fantasy and the sci-fi, whichever one you want. That is not just a virtual tabletop like we use. It's also an entire, really robust bit of map making software. It's both. And playing a game in the software you're building the map in gives you just an insane amount of tools that you can use to mess with stuff. But we've also got our newest partner, Easy Roller. We got a bunch of their dice going on now.
Yeah.
They have a whole massive assortment.
I rolled a bunch of them.
From the big, fancy metal and gem ones to your more affordable series, they've got everything. Discount code UGT Show works over there too. And hey, using those codes with our partners, help support the show. Get you some cool stuff, get us some kickback. It's a win-win situation. We got some others down below the channel you can feel free to check out as well. We got discount codes for them too. Again, we're going to try not to do a 5-week gap, but, sometimes hurricanes intervene very strongly. So, thanks. We can't control the weather. Not yet.
I can.
But he refuses to.
I'm supposed to tell him.
I can't control the weather.
Thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for coming back, everybody. I know it's been a minute. But we're here, and we'll be here, pending a hurricane. We'll be here next week with another episode of Strange Aeons. For now, stay safe. Stay sane.